I heard a cat.
I've eaten like 4 chili dogs today, no joke.
I love chili dogs. They're actually my favorite food.
They're not buffalo wings, but they're up there.
Buffalo wings, the smell makes me want to kill someone. They smell that bad.
The smell makes me want to kill my stomach with
Renegade
buffalo
X
wings.
Studio says the art style in this game is really cool. Oh yeah, the cell shading.
It is.
That's nice.
Until Sonic opens his mouth.
The one thing I hate about this game more than anything is the fact that Lumina Flowlight is very clearly the inspiration for that one character in Sonic X.
Isn't Knights in this game somewhere?
I believe he makes a cameo, because Knights always makes a cameo in Sonic games. Like, ever since Adventure, he's been cameoing in every Sonic game.
Was Knights in Generations?
Good question.
I believe
I don't
in the
remember
3DS
him being
version
in
anyway, like the Knights cameo in the background of Radical Highway was still there.
Unpopular opinion time. Generations 3DS had better classic stages than Generations PS3 360 PC.
That is statistically impossible, because 3 of them were literally pixel for pixel remakes of the original stages.
Better. That's
that
probably
is
what
precise.
he means.
Yeah, 1, they were remakes of great-ass stages. 2, the physics were spot on, and in the console version, they were pretty way off.
Yeah, but I think they were meant to be.
I love the physics of classic Sonic in the console version. It's much better than Sonic 4, you have to admit that.
That's not hard to do.
But it works really well. Like, the way his momentum works,
The only thing...
and everything.
Like, I understand why they did it, but, like, I think that classic Sonic, like, having the adventure-style spin dash, where he doesn't have to come to a complete stop and he can do it again, it doesn't feel like classic stages are classic stage design very much, and a big part of the reason for it is because of that.
It's a really good
it's
speedrunning tool, though.
I enjoy playing it. It's just, it would feel a lot more like classic Sonic if he didn't have that.
You know, it's my least favorite thing about classic Sonic in Generations.
you can still duck and spin dash
can,
that
and
way
I
if
do
you
play
want to
it
be
like
a
that
purist.
sometimes. Just to do something different. Kovar, what were you saying?
This is probably the most pedantic complaint anyone could possibly have, but I did not like Sonic's scale compared to the stages for the classic stages. I felt like in Generations he was so much smaller. Classic Sonic was so much smaller relative to the stage size than he was in the classic games he was from.
It's an interesting argument to make, actually.
Like, the loops were freaking enormous compared to classic Sonic.
Yeah, he never felt...
versus
yeah, you're right.
how
he never
big
felt
they
that tiny in the classic games.
Well, to be fair, they couldn't make gigantic scale shit back on the Genesis like that.
Well, but when you're remaking stages from the Genesis, don't make them gigantic.
Counter-argument, Sonic CD. They were huge in Sonic CD.
Well, that was sort of a look what we can do trick.
Which is funny, because there's actually been a proof of concept hack that shows that you could do that without the CD.
That's fair, but when you're specifically remaking stages from Sonic 1, 2, and 3, it's like, try to make... I understand that the level designs are going to be different, and especially the Sky Sanctuary. They did all sorts of stuff crazy with that, and I'm not going to complain about that at all, but...
I love Sky Sanctuary Generations.
The loops in classic Green Hill versus Sonic 1, it's like... they're like 3 times as big.
One thing I loved about classic Green Hill is when you get to the underground area with the waterfalls, you can hear the ambient noise of, like, birds and frogs. I could just stand there and listen to that with the music playing in the background. It's really serene.
I never noticed that.
Probably 80% of my time in Sonic Generations has been spent in Modern Green Hill playing it over and over and over and over again. I'm really good at that one stage. Nothing else.
That's how I was when the demo came out, because they were holding a speedrunning contest.
That's why I got good at it, but then I kept playing it afterwards.
For me, that became City Escape and Rooftop
Renegade
Run.
X Studios says that they don't understand why classic Sonic in Generations wasn't also used for Sonic 4. Sonic 4 came out a year earlier. Episode 1 did.
Episode 1 did, anyway. Episode 2 came out after.
And also, Sonic 4 was developed by Dimps, and in spite of what Izuka said about how he thought Modern Sonic fit better. I don't believe that for a moment. I think they were just being lazy, and that was his excuse after the fact.
Oh God.
Lazy? They could have done it with sprites.
How the hell do you do this? I think sprites actually.
Oh, this minigame's a bitch.
I don't know. I think sprites actually would have been harder on them. Because I don't think there are a whole lot of video game developers left now who know how to use sprites. I think 3D modeling is a lot easier.
Well, especially since they were reusing the engine from Sonic Rush. I mean, they had to port it, but porting versus developing a new engine, completely different thing.
Well, Renegade X Studios does specify that he was talking about Episode 2. I guess maybe at that point, for one thing, they wanted to use the same engine, they wanted to keep it consistent, and Episode 2 did improve on the physics quite a lot.
Episode 2 improved on almost everything quite a lot, except for the partner mechanic.
Honestly, when I did the stream a few weeks ago, I was surprised because I had a lot... I don't know if fun is the right word, but I enjoyed playing through Sonic 4 Episode 1 more than Episode 2. And I think it's because Episode 2 drags on so long, especially in the Sky Chase-like zone with the planes and stuff. Like, that zone just is way too freaking long.
I think Episode 1 is a better game than Episode 2. Like, seriously. Episode 1 may have worse physics, and nobody's going to argue with that. And it may have worse graphics, and it may have worse music. But the pacing of the game is so much better that more than makes the difference between it. Episode 1 is just better.
Are we bitching about Sonic 4 again?
Yeah.
What a surprise. I enjoy playing Episode 2. I think Episode 2... I disagree. I think Episode 2 is a much better game than Episode 1.
Episode 2, I like everything except the gameplay better. I do not like the partner mechanic.
I don't like the bosses in Episode 2.
Oh, I don't like the way the bosses revolve around using the partner mechanic, but the boss designs and the concepts are really fun.
And that Metal Sonic one, the racing one...
I thought that was a nice callback. I appreciated that.
Yeah, it was a nice callback, but they made it way the hell too hard.
Too hard? Turn super and win!
In general, in most newer Sonic games, I'm noticing this because I'm replaying Sonic Adventure in preparation for making a video on it, and...
Don't forget Sonic Advance series.
Oh, I won't, don't worry. But what I'm noticing is that in the classic Sonic games, if you knew a trick, like maybe not necessarily even a trick, but if you were confident and you were skilled, you could take down the bosses really, really, really fast. You could just wail on them. In most of the newer Sonic games past that point, though, it's more like you have to you dodge the boss until he's like, oh, see if you can make it through here, Sonic. But you have to wait until he exposes his weak point and then hit him.
I just want to point out that you're calling the year 1998 newer.
Well, it is newer. It's newer than the classic titles.
Yeah, it's 7 years newer.
I made sure it's 17 years old, but it's newer.
These newfangled Sonic games with the green eyes and the...
Why do people still bitch about that argument? I mean, it's just a character design. I think the Sonic Boom argument is more relevant because at least that's more of a drastic change.
It definitely is.
I never had any problem with the Sonic Boom redesigns. I had a problem with the initial art that first showed off Knuckles' redesign.
Oh yeah,
because
it's
it was a bad pose, I think. I think the Knuckles redesign works in any other pose other than that one.
The one thing about that I don't like is that he has opposable fingers. That's the one thing that bugs me.
Not the blue arms?
No. I'm fine with the blue arms. I'm fine with the budget Nathan Drake cosplay. It's the opposable fingers.
Sully!
Victor goddamn Sullivan.
I'm going to be that guy. I never had any issue with the Boom redesigns. I never had any issue with the concept of Boom. My only issue with Boom was that the games sucked.
That is my biggest bugbear, or the games. The fact they suck.
That's everyone's biggest problem, but for most people, that's not their only problem. But that's my only problem. I don't have any issue with the redesigns for the new universe.
Another thing I hate. Styx's voice.
Whoops.
Styx's voice is so bad.
Voice. He's fine. It's I can see why it annoys some people, but I'm fine with it.
It sounds like something out of Rugrats, and I don't mean
It
that
really
as a compliment.
does, though. Pass a bomb back and forth through the park.
Yeah.
Okie dokie.
It actually reminds me of what's her name? The voice actor who played Susie in Rugrats.
I have no idea, but yeah, I agree. Or Cree Summer.
Cree
Yeah,
Summer.
Foxy
She's-
Love from Drawn Together.
Yeah, she's been in everything. Yeah, I thought of that too,
Oh
but
God,
I wasn't
Drawn
going to say
Together.
that. I didn't want to admit to
remember that
watching
show.
that show.
That show was so... At the time frame of my life that I watched that show, it introduced me to a lot of concepts I don't think I was ready for.
How old were you at the time?
But yeah,
I think I was
Yeah,
13.
yeah.
at first I legitimately thought Styx was voiced by Cree Summer,
I'm
but she's
surprised-
not.
She does sound like she is, I agree.
She's voiced by Nika Futterman, who was
That's a funny
also Asajj Ventress in Star Wars: The Clone Wars. I didn't watch that.
I did for a while because I was interested in the concept of, oh hey, they're trying the prequel shit again.
Yeah,
Can
man,
they fuck it up?
If you were
And they
13,
did.
you were way too young for Drawn Together.
Yeah, I don't recognize most of the stuff this gal's been in.
Well, my childhood was full of exposing myself to shit I was too young for at the time. I was 7 when they stopped airing porn on
Aw.
cable television.
And you remember because you were watching it when you were 7.
Chaos Rush says that he can kill most of the Sonic Adventurers rather fast, and given your name, that is appropriate.
Sonic Advance.
Sonic
bosses,
Advance,
and
yeah. Okay.
they are
I
actually.
read Sonic Adventure.
Aside from in 2, they're easy to deal with. Because in 2, they're all of them are on rails. Well, not on rails, but constantly running.
I like the second to last and third to last bosses in Sonic Advance 1.
Of course, those are the best ones.
I don't think anybody remembers those.
No, I do. That's why I'm laughing
particularly.
about it.
Those were both remakes of bosses
Yeah, it
from
was
previous Sonic
the Green
games.
Hill boss.
The Advance series did that a lot.
Did it?
Yeah, I think every Advance game, when they did the boss rush, they always had different versions of the Sonic Advance 1 and 2 first bosses. Or the Sonic
Yeah,
1
yeah.
2 bosses.
If Advance 3 did that, I wouldn't have known because I didn't get very far in Advance 3 because I didn't like Advance 3 because its hub worlds
Neither
got on
do
my
I.
nerves.
I actually like Advance 3, but the hub worlds were a little bit
When I
annoying.
do the Sonic Advance trilogy video, I'm going to have to try to beat Sonic Advance 3 for the first time.
If you'd like, I can get some
No,
footage
I
for you.
mean, I need to do it myself so I can form my own, thoughts and opinions on it. I'm sure I can do it, I just never have.
Just remember, play as Sonic and
Okay.
Amy, always. It is the worst, most gimped way to play the game. You don't get a spin dash, you don't get a spin jump, but Sonic has a hammer.
Oh, good! Sonic needs a hammer.
Advance 2 is actually a really easy game to beat. Just play it like you don't know
Just
how to
hold
play
right
Sonic.
to win. That's the one game where that kind of works.
Unless you're
Not
trying to
only-
100% that game, in
Yeah,
which
it's
case
true.
you are fucked.
It doesn't just kind of work. It's necessary at some points. There are things that only work if you hold right and fail if you don't hold right. I don't know why they designed it like that.
Actually, Advance 2 had an interesting mechanic in it that really was necessary for progression at some points. Hold on, let me finish this.
Hello?
Are you talking about tricks?
Yes, I am talking about tricks. In like the 3rd level, you needed to perform a trick in order to progress, and if you didn't know what the hell to do, that's where the game ended for you.
Well, you should have read the instruction manual, obviously.
You can't do that if you're downloading ROMs off the internet.
Thing is, though, I have a legit copy of Sonic Advance 2, and I think I have the manual somewhere.
I rented it from Blockbuster, and you know what Blockbuster doesn't have?
Stores?
The original instruction manuals.
Story?
Well, stores now. But I mean,
was trying to think of something witty, but he beat me to it.
back in the day, it was like, it was hit or miss if you get an instruction manual with a rental game at all, whether it was from
There's no way you would
Blockbuster or
if you
from
rented a
anywhere.
cartridge.
Well, sometimes they had like photocopied instruction manuals and they kept the original, but
Actually, I think I still I have a couple of manuals from
And
games
then you
I rented.
forget to put them back
and
in the
it's
box.
like
I have a couple too.
No, it's because I would
Okay.
purposely take them because I'd rent the game to
I don't think I
pirate
ever
it.
did that.
But
The thing
but
is,
like,
though,
it's got a gloss cover, but the inside of the manual is like on printer paper.
yeah, exactly. But if someone did steal the
Tails
manual,
died.
which happened a lot, and they wouldn't necessarily replace it before the next rental. They might wait a month or two or a year, and so renting games really was hit or miss whether you get an instruction booklet. So if you rent Sonic Advance 2 and there's no booklet, that happened to me. There's no way of knowing that you can even do tricks because there's no tutorials in that game or anything.
Exactly, and that's where the game ends for you. It's like the middle. It's like the Act 2 of the third stage. It's where
Music
it ends
plant.
for you.
Yes.
No, not Music Plant. It's the one where it's like you're in the sky and it's all the wind.
Yeah, I sort of remember. I don't know.
I think it's like you had to perform a trick at one specific point that you needed to do it to progress, and if you couldn't do it, you literally could not get around
By
it
the time
any other
Sonic-
way. I think the only way around it would be to play as Tails and just kind of jerry-rig
By the
fly
time
your way
Sonic
through it.
Adventure 2 came out, between Adventure 1 and Adventure 2 was a time when I lost that magical childhood ability to remember the name of everything. You know what I mean? Like I knew. Okay, like
What do you mean by
I
that?
had no trouble at all memorizing the names and attributes and looks and everything about the original 150 Pokemon. But by the time Gold and Silver came out, like, I don't know all of the Pokemon past that point at all. And it's not because I played it any less,
Well-
it's just because when you're young, it's easy to remember things. It's like how little kids have can learn languages really easily and really quickly.
I don't think it's just that. I think it's also because the new Pokemon games also had the old Pokemon in them. I think it's also because, let's face it, if you're learning all of them, that's a lot more to learn. I think it's also because there was no Poke Rap for all of the newer ones. I think they might have did a Gold and Silver Poke Rap, but I'm pretty sure they never did one
They
for
did, but it
Ruby
was
and
really
Sapphire.
bad.
Bitch, I'm 21 and I can name all 720
Oh no!
in numerical order.
If you're a Pokemologist like you are, of course you can. I'm not saying you can't still do it. I'm just saying that, like, when I'm thinking about the Sonic games, I can name every level by sight in all the mainline Sonic games up until Adventure 2, and then I can't do it anymore.
Couldn't do Heroes?
Not at all. Definitely not Heroes. I'd be.
If you show me the level, I can give you the name for Heroes, but that doesn't mean I'll want to.
I can't do it for Shadow. I can understand if Shadow fucks you up. I can't do
I
it
didn't
for
play
Shadow.
Shadow.
Your soul is still pure.
Even Heroes, though, it's like I didn't beat that game. Eventually got to a point where it's like I am sick of these wave after wave of Eggman's robots being disguised as bosses or
Seaside
stages.
Hill. I remember Rail Canyon. I remember the level that was sort of like Mushroom Hill. Frog Forest? Was it Frog Forest? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. There was the Haunted Mansion one. I forgot what that one's called. I think there's two of them.
Well, each one is like there's like one
there's
act
sort of-
and
there's
there's
sort
the
of an
next
act
act, which
two
has a
of
which is a different
sorts.
name. Yeah, it's like Seaside Hill,
Yeah.
Sea Palace.
Bingo Highway.
I
That's
love the
what's
casino levels. The music of the first casino level is one of my
But I
favorite
haven't
tracks
played
in that
Sonic
game.
Heroes in like a decade now, so
2 years ago, I actually took it upon myself to sit down and play through the entire fucking game. And it took a long time. It was a grueling task, but I was satisfied when I was done with it because I
one
had
thing I
never
remember
done that
about it
before.
is that the levels,
It's,
like playing Team Rose, was the only time that I felt like the levels were not too long. You know what I mean?
That's because they
Yeah, I
literally
know.
shortened them because Team Rose
I know,
is easy
but like
mode.
that was I enjoyed playing the game most as Team Rose because of that.
It's a better game than
Then you
06.
Then you can cheese bosses with Team Rose because of the different abilities
Yeah.
the characters have.
Casino Park. Yeah.
I just realized I made a terrible pun there.
I like puns. I didn't hear
Well,
it, but I'm
he
laughing
said-
anyway.
He said you
Cheese.
can cheese the bosses.
Oh, I get it.
You can do that.
You don't get it,
Advance
too.
too as well.
Cream cheese. I get it.
Oh yes, in Sonic Advance 2, that was the easiest way to cheese
Maybe
bosses,
that's
quite
why-
literally.
Maybe that's why they call the character Cheese.
That-
For anybody
that
who
could
doesn't
be
know
it.
what we're talking about for
It's-
some reason, Cream is always accompanied by a Chow named Cheese. And in the Advance series, once Cream was playable as of Advance 2, you could, like, hit a button and Cheese would go kill an enemy or collect an item. And you could just sit there and spam that and dodge the boss and kill it really easily. Cream was easy mode in the Advance series.
Yeah, and she could fly as well.
Okay, I am done with Sonic Shuffle anyway. Let's see how many donations we've gotten. I've got...
I hope they bring back Marine to Sonic Boom.
But then she'll look like Styx, and
Oh, I
people will
thought
get
Styx
confused.
was Marine when she was first revealed.
Everyone
so did
did.
everyone. Styx will get confused, and that will
Yeah,
be
I-
hilarious.
It will be
Yeah,
hilarious.
I got, thank you, Devin. I don't know. I'm not going to say your last name. I don't know if you want me to.
Oh, hey, use that Gmail background
Oh, yeah,
too.
nice. So, thank you. I will play another Dreamcast game. What do you guys recommend? Chat can get in on this too.
Shenmue
Channel
2.
5 Part 2. Crazy Taxi!
That'd be good.
Hey,
Except-
you're going the wrong way.
Except the VOD
Probably,
would get
yes.
muted. I love Crazy Taxi spawned my love for punk rock. I am a huge Offspring fan.
Yeah.
Day after day, you're unlike.
I
the
like that
rest.
game.
Like seriously, there's a reason I have a Crazy Taxi 3 arcade machine in my basement. I just love that series. I love that band. It's so good. But yeah, Crazy Taxi is awesome. I recommend it.
I love
Power
it.
Stone.
It's so good.
Yeah, I have powers.
You're like the opposite of the Power Glove.
Jet Set Radio. That'd be fun. Except it's called Jet Grind Radio in the American version of the Dreamcast.
Radio was such a better name. I don't know why they did that.
Copyright
Because
reasons, actually.
grinding. Really?
Yeah, it was actually due to copyright reasons because Jet Set was a thing in America at that time. Now it's defunct, so they can just use it for whatever they need to. But that's the only reason they changed the name.
So when you say copyright, what you actually mean is trademark.
I use those words interchangeably, and I will never learn the difference.
Definitive Dubs, we did ask about you earlier. We were talking about voice acting.
Yeah, hey man, what's up?
And I was saying earlier, I probably am second to you as far as giving a shit about voice acting, and more than everyone
Hang
else.
on just a second. I need to get into my closet for a second. I mean, keep talking. You don't have to pause. Just I'm gonna be over on the other side of the room for a second.
No,
I'm
my
trying to
lips
think
are
of a
zipped. I
funny
can't
joke.
talk. I know a man with a wooden leg named Smith.
What?
You're supposed to ask what's the name of his other leg. You ruined the joke, damn it.
Ben, I was only brought in because I just happened to notice they were streaming and I jumped in. I wasn't personally invited or anything. I kind of invited myself.
Yeah, that's pretty much how it goes. I'm pretty sure Shay and I are the only people likely to get personal invites.
Well, if
And
Josh keeps wanting money, he'll probably personally invite me.
I don't take that the wrong way. He's known Shay and I probably a lot longer than just since the last stream.
Oh, I don't take it the wrong way at all. I'm just giving you shit.
Man, this Dreamcast menu screen is exciting.
Well, hey, I love the Dreamcast menu screen.
It's so bad.
I just remember the Dreamcast can play audio tracks off of a CD. I remember that because whenever I tried to run my pirated copy of Rayman 2, it does that.
Definitive Dubs, yes, we are going to play another game. Josh is getting something. I don't know what he's getting. He probably said, but I wasn't paying attention.
Well, I recommended Space Channel 5 Part 2. He didn't have that.
I
House
said
of the
Shenmue
Dead.
2. Oh,
Yeah,
typing in
actually,
the dead.
Kovar, that's funny. What I was over there doing, I was trying to find my Dreamcast keyboard. It's somewhere around here, but I don't feel like I don't feel like spending a bunch of time digging it out.
I have a Dreamcast.
I
Were you
was
gonna
gonna
get Typing of the Dead?
Yeah.
That
Did
game
you
is
know that they
amazing.
made a new
Yeah,
Typing of the Dead?
I have that one. I love
do
that game.
too. Believe it or not, that game is how I learned to type. That is the best typing
Definitive-
tutor there is. Because you want to get high words per minute. Do it under stress when zombies are attacking you. That is the best way to learn how to type.
Definitive Dub says that you brought Pokemologist in and not me. Well, I figure you guys probably like follow the Twitch, like follow me on Twitch. So when I start,
I do,
That's
but I
weird,
didn't get an email.
I got the email immediately. I got it before the tweet went out, actually.
I didn't get the email. I just happened to check my YouTube subscription 7 minutes after you put up the video, so I got lucky.
Redgate X Studio says that if you put old PC games into CD players, it'll play the soundtrack. Yeah, as long as it's Redbook audio. I used to listen to the Sonic CD soundtrack like that.
Oh, some CD players play MP3
That's
though.
weird
I had
that
one.
That you're not getting emails. That's
That's been a
That's
problem
because
with Twitch
Twitch
for
sucks.
years. Yeah, they've been a serious issue. Oh well.
You know,
I need to check Twitter more often because I don't have Twitter on my phone. I really should, but I don't use Twitter like socially. I just use it to subscribe to feeds and the Pepsi Man bot. Seriously, there's a bot Twitter account of Pepsi Man that just posts shit about Pepsi Man like every 10 minutes, and I love it.
I'm watching that Dreamcast controller shake back and forth on the screen, and it's hypnotizing. But it also makes me think: what if I actually played games like that, moving the controller that much? I mean, I do when I'm playing Wii, but not any
I'm
other
linking
system.
this Twitter account in the chat. Follow it now.
Okay.
He has 298 followers.
He has more followers than me. Damn it.
he has more than me too. Then
I'm using Twitter pretty constantly. I have it open all the time.
I just started using Twitter recently.
I made my account like forever ago, and then just a couple of like last year I started using it regularly. And probably like 2/3 of my followers are people I know in real
Dubs
life.
wants to get on the call. Josh, what do you think?
yeah, I suppose so.
Yay, friends.
Oh, now the VMU is moving around
Yeah.
like crazy. You
Well, no,
definitely
bro, how
can't
could you
do
not
that to VMU.
trust a link to a Twitter account?
Because didn't you hear Twitter.com is hosting viruses now?
That wouldn't surprise me, but
No, that was sarcasm.
All right.
This disc is only intended for
what do you got in your
didn't-
VMU?
console.
I forgot to look what time your Dreamcast said it was.
So
I need to make sure it's correct.
Well, let's see.
It's 3:16. So
Ah.
that is correct for me anyway.
Shenmue!
Damn, dude. Old systems, they're supposed to be like several hours off.
So are you actually going to play
A little
Shenmue?
bit, yeah.
Quit stealing my thunder! I'll get around to playing Shenmue when I get the fucking motivation to do so, once I finish Batman.
So do you have any specific plans? Are you going to advance the story, or maybe how about a game of Lucky
Well,
Hit?
Lucky
What are you
Hit
going
is
to
in
do?
Shenmue too.
Get into as many fights as you can. And no. Spend the entire time playing
Well, I'm still on disc 1, so I can't get into fights.
no, there was a couple of fights on
A
disc
couple,
1.
but yeah.
You can't do forklift races either, can you?
No, that's disc 3, I believe.
All right, Chaos Z Run says that they've never played Shenmue, so this could be interesting. Let me show you what you do in Shenmue.
No.
You
Here's
walk
what you do.
around,
Here's what
you
you do in
open
Shenmue.
drawers, you open cabinets, you play those little things where you insert a coin and you get a toy out of it. That's like 80% of the game.
No. You play Space
Yes.
Harrier.
That's true.
Josh, invite
Oh,
Ben
right.
into the call.
This game is what Animal Crossing should have been.
Yeah, and here
Plus
you
revenge
are.
story.
You're ready to play
Exactly.
Space Harrier.
Let's see, I'm trying to find Ben on my Skype list.
His icon is of Shadow.
That's right.
I think I might have already said this during the Sonic stream a few weeks ago, but Shenmue would be the best VR game.
Hey guys.
Hey!
Howdy.
Who plays darts like this, by the way?
No good.
Who plays
Ryo Hazuki.
Who plays darts
Whoa!
by moving their hand back up and down?
No good.
I don't know. I suck at darts. I suck so terribly at darts.
That high score up there, I said in 2009, the last time I played this game.
So close.
He plays darts the way Mortal Kombat people fight.
Bouncing for no reason.
Yeah, it's called a stance. Because apparently stance means movement.
Your
So how is
stance
Sonic
is weak.
Bad.
How is the shuffle?
My friend Lennon is the biggest Shenmue fan I know.
This is it.
Every time we've ever been to like an amusement park or there used to be this like arcade here in town, we play darts. We do play darts like Ryo Hazuki.
Did you have like a 3-hour conversation with him about the Shenmue
Oh
3
god, I did.
announcement?
Yeah. he was at work when it happened. I was like, "Oh my god, you have to get home. You have to see this." He's like, "Am I gonna have to buy a PlayStation 4? I think I know what it is." I'm like, "No, it's coming out on PC too. You're fine."
No good.
I'm gonna probably get it on PS4 just because my PC can't handle shit. That I love my PS4. I'm always looking for more excuses
God,
to play
he
it.
was so freaking happy though, and he spent
good.
hundreds of dollars on the Kickstarter.
I can't
have-
give to the Kickstarter because they don't take
Aw.
Discover.
I have only bought like 3 games for my PS4.
No good.
Yeah.
Ground Zeroes and Infamous, and I think I have another one.
I have Ground
But-
Zeroes, Infamous, Knack, Dragon Ball Xenoverse, Assassin's Creed 4, and Batman Arkham Knight.
But what I do have is a PlayStation Plus subscription, and they're putting a lot of stuff on there.
Darts.
Oh, I
Admittedly-
love PlayStation Plus.
Admittedly, like 90% of it is indie games I already played on PC, but occasionally they got like Oddworld New and Tasty or something good like that.
In a game.
They introduced that actually. PlayStation Plus actually introduced me to a Steam World Dig. That game's really good.
PC Master
Yep.
Race.
Yep.
PC is probably like 95% of my gaming.
Not if you're a Batman fan.
Yeah, I was thinking to say, I was like, I have Batman Arkham Knight, and I'm like, oh no.
Yeah, you have been bested. Ooh, Hang On. I love Hang On.
Hang on. Wait, what? What about?
It's a motorcycle racing game Sega
Yeah,
made.
I get it.
I love the music.
So how was the shuffle?
The
Hang on,
shuffle
I'll be right
lasted
back.
for.
It was.
I missed that. What happened?
You said, "Hang on, I'll be right back."
The shuffle lasted way too fucking long, and I got really bored.
How
We got
long of
through
it
the
was
first
spent on
map.
loading screens?
Yeah, I got.
Not as long
I
as
got
you
through
think.
the first map though. Also, I'm horrible at Hang On, so
It's like playing Outrun
Wait, is this the arcade version or
The
the,
arcade
Genesis
version.
version?
arcade. Genesis version doesn't look or sound this good.
Genesis in a nutshell.
Genesis
Genesis does.
There's a Shenmue sign in the back. They altered this data. This is not a direct port. I'm impressed.
Ruined
Genesis is
forever.
great because it so often had like the definitive versions of multi-console games that were also on Super Nintendo, but when it came to arcade ports, it was like always so much weaker. And
And well,
Hey,
nobody
beat
was
out
30
the NES.
now
and
the
that's what it was really
32X
trying to
on the
do.
other hand, it had some wonderful arcade ports.
Yeah, and
Well,
some shitty
actually-
PC
oh,
ports.
God.
Remember
It
Doom?
had some pretty. Yeah,
I have
32X
only-
had some really good arcade ports.
I've
mean,
only played 2 32X games. Virtua
Knuckles
Fighter
Chaotix.
and Knuckles Chaotix.
You gotta play the CD 32X games that require both.
Yeah, you
Which
got.
I think there's
They're
like
all
4.
FMV games, unfortunately.
And one of them is actually Night Trap.
Anything. The only difference is that they're in a higher resolution.
Yeah, because you gotta see those details when you're watching that girl get her neck drilled
know,
in Night
I-
Trap.
Yeah, like five.
That's
Five.
I
hot.
think I
frames a
like Road Rash. Is that what it was called? As far as motorcycle games go, I think I like that better than Hang On.
That game had kick-ass
Oh, yeah,
Genesis music. That is how you Genesis music.
Pretty much most Genesis games had kick-ass Genesis music. Remember?
They either had kick-ass Genesis music or terrible Genesis music. There was no in
Pretty much, yeah.
between.
AVGN showcased some of Road Rash 3's music in his SNES versus Genesis video, and it was just so hardcore. He said that Genesis pulls off that gritty heavy metal sound more than a Super Nintendo ever does.
You know what's funny? The Genesis sound chip is actually the CPU of the Master System.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
Yes.
They just took the CPU and converted it into the sound chip.
And
kinda
it's
like
really
how
great
the-
for some things. I mean, it was wonderful in Comic Zone.
Oh yeah,
I've never actually beat Comic Zone, and I am really ashamed of myself.
me neither.
Most people haven't beat
You should
that
not
game.
be.
It's
You
freaking
should
hard.
not be ashamed of yourself for not beating that game.
By the way, I'm really glad that I can enter TGC in on score screens now, because my actual initials are Jew, and I'm not a Jew, so. Yes.
Are you serious? My initials are TJF, but I usually just enter Fox.
What's the E stand for?
Edward. I'm a
Josh
vampire.
Edward.
Josh Edward
Something like
Warland.
Or the Riddler.
I forgot your last name, so I just said Warland.
That's close enough.
Werlin.
Waldorf Sockpad.
Back to drawn together again. That's good.
Yes. But yeah, usually on initial screens, I just enter FOX because
Yeah, that
it's
works.
simple. And
Josh, are you secretly a cartoon character?
Not as far as I can tell.
he might be. Excite QTE2.
Because I found out recently I'm actually Judge Dinner.
Site QTE.
Didn't this game like invent
Yes.
QuickTime events?
This confuses me because I'm used to the Xbox 360 controller button, like the colors. The Dreamcast and the Dreamcast
Yeah,
and the Xbox 360 have the same button layout but different colors.
Oh yeah.
This didn't invent QTEs. We can trace those all the way back to Dragon's
True
Lair
enough,
in
but
the
I guess
arcades.
QTEs as part of another game.
Yeah, except Dragon's Lair didn't have button prompts. It was just know what to do or die. So I wouldn't call those QuickTime events.
That's fair. I only played the Wii version, which did have button prompts.
Yeah, the Wii version was literally you paid for a QuickTime event.
I thought it was bullshit even on the Wii, and I realized when I was playing it that it would have been even more bullshit in the arcade.
Yeah, that game just ate through quarters, but it was a test of skill to know exactly what to do.
That's not skill, that's
What I love
memory.
one thing I love about the
It was
Black
a test.
Exile.
I like the remix of the Shenmue theme in the background of Excite QTE 2 here. I think that's adorable.
Hang on, shut up for a second so I can hear it. Okay, yeah, that's
Yeah.
actually really interesting.
I can't hear it.
It's just like a chiptune
Well-
version of the Shenmue theme.
Darn.
I wouldn't know since I've never played this game.
I loved.
I can't play these
Seriously,
games
bro?
because I'm emulating Shenmue and the emulator crashes when I try to play
Gotta
these
have a real
things.
Dreamcast.
There is a new There's a new version of Demule that just came out. You might try it in there.
Really? What Dreamcast emulator am I using? I know I'm using an old one. I think I'm using Null
Yeah.
DC.
I love how liberally we're talking about using emulators.
Well, nobody cares anymore.
Emulation is not illegal. Especially
Awkward
Especially-
silence.
especially if you happen to have a GD-ROM drive in your PC and you can use the original
Well,
discs.
yeah, obviously. Who
You serious?
doesn't have a
Those, right?
GD-ROM drive
Yeah,
on
you-
their PC?
Oh yeah.
Oh, hey, I'm rich enough to say screw the law.
I do not have that luxury.
Well,
This is an original Shenmue disc.
I've never played Shenmue. How good is it?
It's either very good or terrible, but
Do
mostly
you
very
like
good.
really awkward controls, really bad voice acting, but a really deep story that can really pull you in if you can ignore all that bullshit?
Well, I
And
did
the
play
single
God.
most immersive world in any video
It's
game,
kinda
period.
hard-
I disagree, but
It's kind of hard
he's
to
got
say
a point.
because like it's hard to judge it out of context. Like I remember playing this game when it first came out and just being completely blown away by everything it had and everything it did. But there have been so many games since then that did all that better.
One game, 100 yen.
You can interact with everything, though, and that's something that even, like GTA 5, you can't interact with like 95% of what you see. There's
No,
doors
but
you
you can
can't
blow
go
it up.
through. Well, I mean, there's buildings you can't go in, and even if you can go in buildings, there's going to be desks and drawers and cabinets you can't open. In this game, if you see it, 99% chance you can interact with it. You can open any drawer in any building you can go in.
Most of them. Not every single one, but most.
Not every single one, but enough that it doesn't feel like they got lazy with it.
Enough that I spent 2 hours in my playthrough looking for one particular item in Rio's basement.
I know exactly what you're
Exactly.
talking about.
Lord Juicebox says, we up.
Okay.
Whatever that means.
It means...
Yep.
We up.
Sounds like song lyrics.
By the way, if anybody else wants to donate $5, I'll play another Dreamcast game. And if you want to suggest ones, as long as I have it, I'll play it. If you want to suggest something. Not Sonic Shuffle. It can't be something I've already played.
Do you have
Yes.
Power Stone 2?
I have Power Stone 1, almost in
You guys
mint
suggest
condition.
Power Stone or Power Stone 2? They're both great games.
I like Power
Suggest
Stone
them.
1 a lot
Donate.
better, though.
Too bad you can't find your keyboard. I'd love to watch you play Typing in the Dead. But do you have House of
no.
the Dead, too? I have 2 copies of
I
House
have
of the
House-
Dead, too. One of them is scratched to shit. Actually, it's funny, I have both versions. I have the original release and the Sega All-Stars
One option might be,
version.
I have a couple of Dreamcast demo discs, and I would just sort of go through and play.
Ooh, the generators!
Yeah,
I love those.
If you want me to play one of those, I'd just sort of try everything on it too.
Funny is, both of them have a demo of the same exact demo of Sonic Adventure.
I'm happy for you, and I'm gonna let you finish. But I think that PlayStation Underground Summer 2000 was the best demo disc of all time.
I don't know if I had that one. I had Fall of '99 for sure.
I
Summer-
forget which one I have, but I have one of them. It's got like a Crash 2 demo on it. I know that one stands out.
Summer 2000 was the one that had this really nifty import game. It was, I think they called it I'm the
Yes,
Chef.
I do have that one.
Its actual name was Ore no Ryori, which translates to My Cooking, which I have been waiting and yelling at Sony every now and again for them to localize that game or just import it. Just release it on the American PSN as an import, even in Japanese. I would buy that in a heartbeat. That's, in my opinion,
What are the
my top
What are the
5
freaking odds that we would
PlayStation
both
games.
know about that, having not talked about it beforehand?
Yeah, I don't think I have that disc then. I think I have the 99 disc then, because it has a Crash 2 demo.
Only
and
demo disc I ever had was one that I got in an EGM magazine.
This was a crazy weird one. It's like a dual analog cooking game, where you have to do stuff like pour beer and chop vegetables.
It sounds so. It's one of those things that sounds bad in concept, but it's actually really fun to play. Yes.
Space Harrier with
Yeah.
Cyclops mammoths.
Yeah, the real,
As I like
the real
to call
fun
it,
of it.
or as I like to call it, 3D World Runner 2.
3D World Runner was a good game.
Well, this game is that, but you can fly and
Steel
you have a gun.
clouds floating in the air.
Is
you play
3D
another
World
Dreamcast
Runner
game,
one of the
you
ones they released on 3DS?
Yeah, it is.
It is, I think. I love this game though. I fucking love
I
Space
love it,
Harrier.
but I love it, but I'm
Josh,
not at it.
I've got a MAME cabinet at home, and I just set the credits to max when I play this game, and I just go through it because this game is so much fucking
gonna make
fun. Also, go to the
Yeah, I know,
ground.
you can
Go to the
run.
ground.
I mean, it's not Bubble Bobble, but it is fun.
Bubble Bobble is
It's-
ridiculous.
It's not DuckTales, but it is fun.
Oh god.
Oh, we went like an hour without
Yeah.
mentioning DuckTales. Why'd you have to do that?
Do we have to do
Because
like what the completion
had to be done.
Do drunk Bubble Bobble acapella?
I could do it. I know the whole songs.
I won't do it because I don't
Whole
drink.
song,
I won't do it
Okay.
because
I don't know the Bubble Bubble
There's-
songs at all.
There's only one song in the whole
There's
game.
only one song.
Shows you what I know about that.
Hundreds of levels, one song.
I used to sing along when I played it.
What's your guys' favorite arcade games from any era?
Bubble Bobble.
I actually love Arkanoid.
Actually, no. Tetris the Grandmaster 2.
Never heard of it. The only Tetris I've seen that's a standout is the giant Tetris where you play with joysticks. They're like the size of dogs.
The best arcade game I ever played was Afterburner Climax.
Isn't that get a console
Yeah, but you
version
can't
though?
buy it anymore.
Well, the arcade version, you have a seat that moves with you while you're flying. And it feels so good.
F-Zero AX had that. And I've been trying to find an F-Zero AX tilt machine. They're like 17
Somebody says
grand.
the frame rate though is the frame rate bad?
It looks fine to me.
It's
Looks fine
playing
to me.
Well, it's running an emulator of a arcade machine through a Dreamcast. The frame rate's not going to be that great.
But it does look pretty good.
Well,
Like
this is capped at 30 FPS, I think.
I think
Oh,
it
this
is.
is definitely
Yeah,
60.
it's set to 60.
Well, that's lucky. The way my emulator's recognizing it, mine's capped at 50 because it sees it as the PAL version for some reason. I don't know how to fix it.
But yeah, what makes Tetris the Grandmaster 2 and 3 so brilliant is it gets faster and faster and faster to the point where you're getting more than one drop per second.
By the way, this is as far as I've ever gotten in Space Harrier, I believe. I think I always lose on this level.
I've just kind of zoned out.
I've beaten Space Harrier before.
I do need to make... Well, yeah, but you have unlimited continues on your main arcade cabinet.
I actually did that with the Simpsons arcade game once with a friend of mine. Neither of us had ever played it before, but we just sat down and played through the entire thing. It was really fun.
Yeah, it looks good.
Josh, if you play another Dreamcast game, you should play Crazy Taxi!
Yeah,
I suggested that already.
Hey, you're going the wrong way.
We're worried because we might get muted. Because of the soundtrack.
Well, you can't get actively muted, but the
Yeah.
VOD would get muted. But you know, that's
would
fine.
that actually happen?
Yeah, that does happen because they're used licensed tracks. Same thing would happen if you played Jet Set Radio.
I'll go old school this time.
No, that wouldn't happen if you played Jet Set Radio, because all the music in there was made for the game.
No, it isn't. They use a lot of licensed tracks.
Really?
They use a Rob Zombie song!
Okay, I guess I haven't played it in a long time.
I guess Ben hasn't heard of Rob Zombie.
Hey.
Alright, Ine-san's gonna be
Man.
mad that I was out so late now.
Chew! Chew!
It's getting really late. I'd best get home.
At least you're not like Billy Mitchell and enter USA like a dick.
You know, that was pretty much the entirety of King of Kong was Billy Mitchell being a dick.
I actually really enjoy... I forgot you could light up his watch.
I need to watch King of Kong. I need to watch it with my dad.
It's a really good documentary, actually.
Well, that's what I've heard. But is it like a real documentary, or is it like scripted? I mean, is
It's
it
a
like
real
based,
documentary.
Is it like based on true
No,
events?
it is true
but,
events.
like,
It's real documentary. It was filmed as it happened. The only thing is, through tricky editing, they did make Billy Mitchell look like a bigger dick than he actually is for some reason.
But he's actually
because
still
of
kind of a
Peter.
pretty big dick.
No, he's a big dick instead of an enormous dick.
Yes.
talking about big dicks all of a sudden.
You like
yes,
it?
yes, and nobody's talked about black dicks yet.
I'm not going to answer that question.
I'm just checking my drawers. I'm not involved in this conversation. I'm just
making sure everything's okay in your drawers.
Find anything big in there?
Why does Rio have so many pairs of the same white shirt?
I have the same
And my
thing.
white tee. Oh, on South Beach. Oh.
Seriously though, this is the best part of Shenmue.
Rummaging
is
through
just
drawers.
going through your stuff.
Do you have any
Yes,
Saturn
This is
games?
the
I'm not
best
joking.
part of Shenmue right here. Fuck
Josh,
the
do you
writing, fuck the graphics, this is where it's at.
Josh,
No.
do you have any of the Saturn
No, not on
games
this save file.
unlocked?
It's not the rummaging through drawers itself that's the best part, but that you have the freedom to rummage through drawers.
I know, it was just a joke.
Yeah, and you can waste all of your money buying toy capsules.
Just like real
Yeah.
life.
And you can feed a cat! And if you forget to feed the cat, it dies!
It's actually a lot like Metal Gear Solid in that they thought of freaking
Like,
everything.
oh, I think I'll turn this light on. It doesn't do anything. There's no reason to do that, but you can do
Well,
it.
see, I know what you mean when you say it's like Metal Gear Solid. Because like in Metal Gear Solid 2 in the tanker mission, you can shoot out literally every bottle.
Okay,
on
Josh,
shelf.
my suggestion for your next Dreamcast game is Metal Gear Solid.
I don't have Bleamcast, unfortunately.
Well, I could send you a download link and you could burn it
I
in a
don't
few
condone
minutes.
piracy, sir.
It's not piracy because it was never legally released. Sure, it hit
Bleem's out of
store
business,
shelves,
bud.
it hit store shelves, but they had to pull it immediately because of copyright issues.
Who currently owns Bleem?
It's a defunct.
So we could own Bleem.
So, but it's not in public domain yet. It still needs, because the way copyright works, it wouldn't be in public domain for another like 60, 50 years.
That's how they want it to work, but
but nobody actually owns it. It's just nobody can legally use it at all. Period.
It's vaporware, and the concept itself was illegal to begin with.
Only because they included a BIOS.
If you can't play Crazy Taxi, play Marvel vs. Capcom.
Oh god, I love Marvel vs. Capcom.
Totally do that, yeah.
Oh, but the Dreamcast one doesn't even have Phoenix Wright.
Okay.
Well, no, because Phoenix Wright wasn't until the re-release of the third one.
Here's one of the most unrealistic things about Shenmue. This game is taking place in 1986, and yet
there's a Sega Saturn. Sega Sanshiro, Sega Sanshiro, Sega Saturn.
Those arcade games I was playing earlier, you can win you can win ticket raffles at the Tomato Mart, and if you win, then you'll get actual not Saturn games, but you'll get CD versions of those arcade games.
Now, see, Josh, you misunderstand.
You can actually win raffle entries, but from the vending machines, from the soda vending machines.
Yeah, winning cans.
Josh, you misunderstand. This is in an alternate universe where the Master System had the Saturn's design.
Yeah.
You were late.
Now, that clearly says Saturn on it.
A little.
Shut up!
See, I told you. I told
Stick
is mad that I was out so late.
I understand.
I think it is bullshit that this game doesn't include Sonic Jam, and I'm going to write Sega
Sonic
a letter.
Jam should just be in Shenmue.
Well,
Sonic
that actually begs a question. What the hell are they going to do for this sort of shit in Shenmue 3? Because I don't think there's going to be any Sega-related shit in it.
There will probably still be
is.
Yu Suzuki-related stuff.
It's
there's gonna be...
by
Yeah, but I
Sega.
don't think we're going to get, Sonic toy capsules this time around.
Since the game is coming out for the PS4, there's going to be a PS4 in the game. And if you try to use it, it just sends you back to the PS4's menu.
That actually reminds me of
great.
So realistic! And now everything you play on your PS4 is secretly still happening in Shenmue 3.
That reminds
We need
me,
to
when
go
I was
deeper.
playing Batman Arkham Knight, I was going through one of the fear effect things, and the game booted me back to the PS4 menu due to an error, but I was so fucking convinced it was some kind of sanity effect. I just stood there in awe for 5 minutes.
And then what you do,
This is Eternal
you start
Darkness.
playing Shenmue 3 on the PS4, you boot up the PS4 in Shenmue 3, and then you play Shenmue 3 and Shenmue 3.
But Sensei.
Shenmue 7.
Wow!
Oh no.
He's gone. I still have so many.
This was originally a
Yeah, it
Saturn
was.
game, wasn't it?
Yes,
It's
it
meant
was.
to be a Saturn game, but they pushed it to the Dreamcast because Segata Sanshiro, noble as he may be, could not thwart the evil Nintendo.
Well, he kind of died.
No, he's
That's
still
not
around.
Saturn.
I'm pretty sure he died when he was redirecting that missile to outer space.
Okay.
You didn't pay attention to the background. You didn't see the shooting star re-entering orbit, which was clearly
Yeah,
him.
there are hints that he might still be alive. He also
Besides, he's in Sonic and Sega
and he also
All-Stars
recently
Racing.
showed up in the Sonic Archie comic book. Actually,
Yes.
That would be an interesting thing if they brought him back, played by the same actor, for a new commercial for
I don't think they'd bring the same actor back. They just get someone else to look like him.
But I'm not as good as father was.
But if they if Sega decided to announce a Saturn compilation, if there's enough Saturn games to actually make one, I'd love to see him come back.
Well, they kind of did do that, didn't they? Like Sega Ages.
The footwork first.
hey, Helio, son, what
it's
is
just
bar?
it's just not the same if he's not beating the shit out of some little kids.
I don't remember how to fight in this
That
game at
wasn't
all.
right. And lunge forward to attack.
Virtual
Press
Fighter.
buttons.
Virtual
Just
Fighter.
hit
That's
the
all you
face
need to know.
buttons.
Why don't you practice the footwork first?
Black60 says Shenmue 3, the movie, the Kickstarter, the game, and Knuckles.
I hear that my VMU just beeped.
And Nookles. Nookles.
Knuckles, yes, thank you.
But I'm not as good as father was.
Oh yeah, you have to look at the VMU
But yeah,
to see what button prompts you need to hit.
Yeah, you're trying to do the pit blow, I believe. I believe it's forward,
Okay.
X.
I should have only taken one.
I don't even
Or
know
it might
what's
just be
going
forward
on anymore.
X. Just forward and X at
There
the
it
same
is.
time. It should be like a double punch.
I've never
This game
played
needs to mess with those
Shenmue.
controls.
Should I not be watching this in order to not spoil
I'm
myself?
not go-
So much better
You're not
than
missing
I'm not
anything
gonna do
plot-wise.
anything. It's too important.
different from
Are you going to be playing Shenmue?
My father and I trained for a long
The geek
time.
critique on Shenmue.
Sensei
Are you actually going to be playing Shenmue, or are you just going to watch a playthrough? If so, I recommend mine.
So,
Shameless
Product
plug, shameless
placement.
plug, shameless plug, shameless plug.
Taco Bell, Taco Bell. Product placement with Taco Bell.
that's enough.
We've always made fun of this because Fuchs. We've always made fun of this because
Outbreak
Fuchson
movie-ish.
is like past this point in the game, pretty much. He's just like, "Hey, Leo, want to spar?" And then you beat the crap out of him.
Well,
He has the most
know.
punchable face.
I'm pretty sure this is the
That's-
same exact scene as in Wind Waker when Link is learning how to use the
Yeah,
sword.
Wind Waker ripped off Shenmue.
Everything ripped off Shenmue.
Shenmue.
Hand move pit blow has been mastered.
Knuckles.
Nookles. Knuckles.
Knuckles.
It makes him sound Canadian.
Knuckles.
Captain Knuckles from that dumb show.
Well, no matter how wrong you pronounce it, he's still a better character than
I always
Mephiles.
pronounced his species as Echidna, and it wasn't until I was much older when I learned it was pronounced Echidna.
I was the same way.
I always said Echidna. I don't know. I was a weird kid. I'm like automatically knew pronunciations.
I assumed it was Echidna, and then one day I looked it up and I was right.
It's weird. I can do
years later.
foreign pronunciations
Oh
better
God,
than
I
I can
think
do
the
English pronunciations
Okay, I think the
sometimes.
soccer scene is about to happen. Oh yes,
Ooh, the first QuickTime event.
these kids,
Yeah, sucker. I don't even
these
know.
kids' voices are amazing.
I'm sorry.
And by amazing, I mean terrible.
Yeah, but be careful when playing in the road.
I mean, we're talking PS1 Capcom era bad voice acting here.
Yes, well,
But with less enthusiasm.
Your kitty needs food.
Except for one important difference. PS1 Capcom had bad voice acting because they were lazy and didn't give a shit. This game has bad voice acting because Yu Suzuki was genuinely clueless and insisted on it.
But
Wait, he actually said let there be bad voice acting?
Well, he had specific demands for what the voice actors needed to be that had nothing to do with voice acting. He wanted someone who was good looking and knew how to fight. Like, that's relevant at all.
Well, actually, to
Wow.
be fair,
Oh,
Ryo's voice actor actually did make stage appearances and wore an actual physical version
Yeah,
of his
yeah.
jacket, which went to somebody who donated $10,000 on the Kickstarter. But if you donate $3,000, you can get a replica.
Ina Sanity says, wasn't Shenmue a direct sequel
yeah,
to Sonic
actually,
Shuffle?
That's
Did you make that username just for the sake of posting here?
Lord Juicebox said earlier that his catchphrase was "I like juice boxes."
But it turns out he also likes jukeboxes. So
Yeah, I
everyone
didn't play with
wins.
the jukebox when I was in the U arcade earlier. Let's see. I'm gonna.
But he
You
did
try-
play with the juice box.
Now to
You're
become
trying not to
Superman.
get the VOD flagged.
I'm gonna call the police department to report that my
Those
dad died.
phones always. These phones piss me the fuck off.
Then you would not like
It's no use.
that cooking game we were talking about earlier, because sometimes
You
you gotta
also-
call the police on people who dine and dash.
You also wouldn't like the real life equivalent of these phones, which I used to have.
I do not like the real life equivalent of these phones, but at least in this game you can go back if you dial
I'm
a
gonna
wrong
make this
number.
a little better for the stream and turn on game mode so that text shows up for the dialogue. Probably should have thought of that earlier.
I don't actually have. I still have one of these phones. I mean, not a payphone, but I do have one of these rotary
Yes,
phones.
I have my own
You have a
payphone.
payphone.
I have a rotary phone. It's not connected. I don't even have
When I was
landline
really
service,
little-
but I do
When I
have
was
the
really
phone
little,
for
we
it.
still had a rotary phone.
Ine Sanity declines to
Yeah.
answer my question.
Police for help at this point.
Why not? Rio's like, it's no use asking the police for help at this point. Somebody came in and murdered your father. Why would the police not be able to help with this?
Have you played Grand Theft Auto 5? I'm pretty sure if these police are anything like those, they would drive up, hear that there was a murder, and start shooting everybody, and maybe run over each other.
Yes, that is GTA 5.
The cops
I can't
in that game are just so funny.
And racist. Well, they are. Game theory proved it.
What, do they go after Franklin more?
They do, actually, in specific areas.
That's...
I wonder if redubbing Shenmue, if there would be a point to that.
No, but if you do it, you have to make it sound worse.
I don't know. I mean, is it like one of those so bad it's good kind of things?
It's really not, if you ask me. I think Ryu's voice is okay and memorable, but for everyone else, it's just god awful. We're not talking like a Jill sandwich here.
The thing about this game is that the dialogue is scripted pretty decently. The issue is just the acting.
The acting is part of the acting is part of the atmosphere for me, though. I don't think that like the game should have intentionally had bad voice acting, but I can't imagine it without it now.
Well, I'm wondering what the hell they're going to do with Shenmue 3.
Every 4 seconds.
So desu ka.
That has something to do with it.
Because they got Ryu's original voice actor for Shenmue 3.
I've set up a straw poll to determine what I should get to drink. By the way,
I voted for coffee.
I think I might have said this during the Sonic stream a few weeks ago, but I genuinely think what they need for Shenmue 3 is 2 voice casts. The original voice cast and a good voice cast.
I would like that, yeah.
That's what I think they need to do with Metal Gear Solid 5, but it's not going to happen.
Alright, coffee is 1, so that's what we'll go with.
Seriously. I will pay $60 for David Hayter DLC. Make it happen, Konami.
I thought
you want microtransactions that badly?
Josh, when you put that straw poll up, I honestly thought you meant what Josh is actually going to go get a drink.
Shenmue is just that good.
I vote coffee so he stays awake and keeps this streak going.
They've raised $4,677,000 and $677,554.
We raised like almost 400 toward a 3DS capture card,
and I was the majority.
I donated $5.
Yeah, I upped you by 1,000%.
I donated money I couldn't even afford just for Sonic 1 GBA.
I need to play more of that, actually.
I donated money to make friends.
What is wrong with me?
You wasted your money. I'm a shitty friend.
No, you're not, man.
Ooh, I got a ball. I guess that's a dice, isn't it? Looking at it now, that's supposed to be like a multi-sided dice type thing. Except it doesn't have numbers on it.
The Sonic Bowl.
Binsbien. I don't know what that is.
I believe it's supposed to be...
I should get another.
I think it's supposed to be like an enemy from a Sega game or something.
That left one is Virtua Fighter. When did Virtua Fighter come out?
1993.
There was a version of Virtua Fighter on the Genesis, and it was terrible.
No, actually,
there was
actually a
Virtua
Genesis
Fighter 2 on the Genesis. It didn't use 3D though; it was all sprites, but it actually played fine. It actually played pretty much like.
So it was better than 32X.
No, the 32X one was actually pretty good. The 32X version of Virtua Fighter was actually better than the original Saturn version of Virtua Fighter. It didn't look better, but it played better.
Did it have moon jumping?
No, I'm only asking about the date,
Tekken 1, you know what I mean by that.
This game takes place in '86.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, what's that?
I guess that's another unrealistic thing.
That's long before Sonic existed. But yeah, there's a bunch of toy capsule machines. There's one for Sonic, there's one for Virtua Fighter, there's like a chibi Virtua Fighter one, there's one for classic Sega shit in general.
It's fantastic.
Yeah, and you can waste all your money.
And I do.
I hope Shenmue 3 has Billy Hatcher toys.
I don't know what Shenmue 3 is going to have. I mean, is it going to have any Sega stuff? Because Sega kind of gave the Shenmue 3 license to Yu Suzuki, and they're really not affiliated.
Well, but I mean, they still own it, and I'd be willing to bet that they take a share of the profits from the game, so maybe they'll include a license in that.
Honestly, I'm not sure.
If they ever decided to re-release Shenmue 3 in any format, Sega would be producing it.
Yeah, but they're not publishing it.
Well, that's true, but I'm saying they would publish a re-release.
The weirdest thing in the world to me would be if, like we were joking about earlier, if Shenmue 3 had lots of Sony references instead. That would be so strange.
God, if there's a Ratchet and Clank vending machine, I would dump all my money in it.
No, you buy another. Oh god, what's it called? Origami. You buy Parappa the Rappa origami.
That doesn't even make sense. Everything in that world is flat. You got a dice. Congratulations.
You got a dice.
What's this?
Oh my gosh.
Okay, I'm about to
You
sound
could have-
really racist here, but is that a picture of Jackie Chan and the machine next to this?
Name 10 things that are not Jackie Chan. Go.
I should try again.
Wait, 10 things that aren't Jackie Chan? What?
Name 10 things that are not Jackie Chan.
That's not hard. Sonic Adventure, Sonic Adventure 2, Sonic Shuffle, Mario 64, Jackie
Johnny
Chan,
Bravo.
Final Fantasy 7, Final Fantasy 8,
Batman.
Final Fantasy 9. How many am I at?
I think you're at 8, but you already named
Ine
Jackie
San-
I
Chan.
should try again.
Damn it!
Ine Sanity is hoping for a Crash Bandicoot DLC. Do you know why we stopped the car? I forgot to close the door.
Well, that's what we need then is Jackie Chan toys in Shenmue 3.
No, specifically from Jackie Chan Adventures.
Josh, you've spent an unhealthy amount of time at this
Yep,
toy
that's how you play
machine.
Shenmue.
I should try again.
This is it's Space Harrier and toy capsule machines and
But no,
forklift
that-
racing.
People on the street probably think he's pretty insane right now.
Ine-san.
Isn't he like the most respected person in town though?
Yeah, they put up with his weird behaviors because
What I wonder was why the hell he always has a band-aid on
I
his
don't
face.
know.
So here's a question. Shenmue 1 and 2. Any chance of a re-release? I think with the massive
If Shenmue 3 does
success...
well enough, probably.
I think with the massive success of the Shenmue 3 Kickstarter, there's a decent
I think it's
chance
needed
of that.
because
And as if Sega can afford to do it, because Sega holds the license to those two games pretty tightly, and they would have to fund
well, there
it,
are so many
basically.
people who were either too young or too stupid to own a Dreamcast back in the day. I'm being a fanboy on purpose there. I don't actually.
I bought mine after the. I bought mine.
I'm sorry,
after
Josh. I was an idiot. I had a PS2 like
Oh,
everybody
God.
else.
I did not have a PS2. I had a GameCube. I was Nintendo up until 2008, and I eventually bought my own PS2 and PS3.
Actually, I was an Xbox kid.
I was kind of an idort, actually.
Here's the general Sega toy
I grew up
capsule.
with the original Xbox, and I played so much in that it was crazy. But I bought Dreamcasts after the whole clearance thing happened, and I bought 4 of them.
The original Xbox is the only sort of mainstream modern console that I never owned.
It's got some really interesting stuff on it.
Yeah,
that isn't Halo.
I guess the
I should
part of
try
the
again.
Who cares about
I guess-
not Halo?
The Xbox was really good. The thing about the Xbox is that most games that came out for all 3 systems were better on
Yeah.
the Xbox. Because
And
it
you
was
know
just
the
better
original-
hardware.
You know what the original Xbox had? It had Fusion Frenzy. And unlike Fusion Frenzy 2, the first Fusion Frenzy was actually a pretty good
it
game.
had Conquer Live and
I
Reloaded.
believe I've played that at some point.
I should try again.
It had Toe Jam and Earl 3, and that made me want to
It
rip
had
my
Crazy
ears
Taxi
off.
3 as well, and I never got to play that because it was only on the Xbox.
Conquer Live and
I
Reloaded
agree.
sucked.
It comparative. You literally got a Dreamcast
Yep.
B button.
Oh, and now I have an X button.
I have a Y button that I play through.
Until someone makes a uncensored patch for Live and Reloaded, I will never play that game.
Considering they're doing, considering we're getting the original version and the rare rewind, it doesn't matter.
Replay.
Considering I already had the thing emulated,
They
it doesn't matter.
Well, you see, I have an actual copy of Live and Reloaded.
I am going to buy an Xbox One just for Rare Replay.
I'm so
I already have an
tempted to do
Xbox
that.
One, and I've been
I
looking to
can't
sell it.
afford it, but God, I
I
want
should
to.
try again.
I should say for Rare Replay and for Halo Master Chief Collection. So basically, I'm
Master
buying a
Chief
brand
Collection
new.
is garbage.
It's garbage for online, but if you
Wow,
only
they
care about the
actually put,
campaign
they actually-
anyway,
They actually put an A-Life and a Chow in the
Yeah, I know.
same statue. That's
I'm looking
clever,
forward to
Sega.
learning more about Sea of Thieves.
Mickey,
Lino Bro says Jet Set Radio
yeah,
feature.
that's a good game.
how's business?
Dude,
Yes, I
I-
love Jet Set Radio Future. You can
I
play
never
as a
played
dog.
Future.
it's funny you mention that. I had Concept of Love on repeat the past couple of days.
This woman's hitting on me.
Can't blame me for trying.
For me, I've had the remix from Street Fighter 2 HD of Ken's theme on replay for the past week.
Understand,
The concept
understand,
of love.
understand, understand.
I have something to ask.
That song always reminds me more of Phantasy Star Online Episode 3 more than Jet Set Radio though.
A black car?
I actually never got into Phantasy Star
Episode 3 was
Online,
the weird card.
and I'm kind of regretting it.
How old is this lady that just asked out, Rio?
Let's see.
50
Well,
something.
Considering everyone in this area is Asian, that means she's somewhere between 10 and 60.
Oh man.
I mean, she
Actually,
looks like
10
she's
and
got
100.
She looks like she's probably in her late 30s, maybe.
Yeah,
she's too old
yeah.
for him.
I think Rio.
I don't know.
I think
wouldn't say
Rio might
late
be
30s.
like asexual, aromantic because he's completely clueless every time Nozomi comes onto him, which he does
Josh,
constantly.
you're questioning.
Is that because he's aromantic, or is that just because he's a dumbass?
I'm gonna go with dumbass on this one.
Make love to me, Rio. I have to find my father's killer.
I need to find the Phoenix Mirror.
Right after. I love. He loves toy capsules more than me.
One of my special dogs.
I love Tom. Tom is one of my favorite characters.
Anyway, on that.
Oh, what, the
That's not
Jamaican
the
guy?
real Tornado Kickman.
No, not
I see. Well, if you remember anything.
That's the best shirt ever.
The thing is, though, Tom is a jackass. You literally can't believe a word he says.
I mean, he's got his own custom shirt with him on it. What kind of person do you have to be to buy a shirt like that, to pay to get that made?
Hey, I can make a geek
I might-
shirt.
I made
I
a
mean-
t-shirt that says Pingus in the Sega font.
It is cheap to do now. It is really cheap and easy to do on like Zazzle or Cafe Press or something. But this guy is in 1986. He would have either spent he had to have spent at least $100 on that.
Yeah, and that's a long sleeve two-tone shirt. That's got to be some decent quality right there.
Yeah.
Josh, seriously. Dude, bro, guy, are you seriously going to be selling the Geek Critique t-shirts?
I've thought
I buy
about
one.
it, sure.
Hopefully, eventually.
It'd be fun.
What I want is the shirt from Sonic 06 that one Sonic fanboy wears.
What, the Sonic Man shirt?
Yeah.
I want his helmet.
Let's see.
I would wear that as a bike helmet. And I don't
need some
ride a
AA
bike.
batteries.
I would wear that to work. I would wear that to a sales meeting at work and see if anyone says anything.
I would wear that running down the street.
Ew, C batteries.
Yeah.
I remember those.
Come again, Will.
They still exist. I like how Sega makes
I
batteries
think you have to
in this
buy
game.
like chips or something to get a raffle draw.
Did you know
Those-
that there was actually a Sega-themed outlet?
Yeah, I remember that. It's like it had spread
Yeah,
out
yeah, the
plugins
power outlet.
Yeah.
because everything had a
I've
gigantic
always
power
wanted one
brick.
of those. It would be
don't
fantastic
think
to
there's-
have.
Yeah,
Those-
that'd be great. I don't think those exist.
Those Sega batteries are hilarious to me because the design on the label, I don't know if any of you noticed, but it's almost identical to the design that Sony uses on their
Really?
actual batteries they manufacture. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll have to look at them in a second.
I used to mix up Sega and Sony. Oh god, that reminds me of a story about this one girl I used to like who never owned a Dreamcast in her life, but she was a huge Sonic fan and bought a copy of Sonic Adventure when she was like 7, and because she thought it was a PlayStation game.
That's happened to many people.
The scene reminds me of the scene in The Room where Johnny just randomly goes into a store and buys some
Oh, hi,
flowers.
doggy. Thanks, Johnny. You're my favorite customer.
Oh god, the room.
Eno Bro says that he wants an underwater Marble Zone T-shirt. That would be good. It could have dead.
I'd buy
Cave on
that.
it.
I want an underwater Marble Zone mod for Generations.
I'll just take a Marble Zone mod.
Or, you
Black
know,
Zeke so
Caterpillars in
Oh, you lose. Sorry, Josh.
in the Heroes stage.
I love the Tomato Mart music. I feel like they wrote it well, so that like if you wanted to stay in here for hours trying to win a ticket, the music would at least be pretty good.
I kind of wish I was
listening to the Apple
proficient
theme
in
from
Japanese in
Legends.
order to read that.
Yo, may I help you?
Now I want to play Mega Man Legends. God damn it.
Mega Man Legends is
You
great.
can.
I love that
Always
game.
can.
Oh yeah, I have a physical copy of it.
I'm gonna check the.
I'm borrowing a friend's copy of Legends 2, and I'm kind of hoping they forget I borrowed it.
Just don't buy Misadventures of Trombone.
You might be an asshole.
Why? Because I'm kind of hoarding a $100 game from my friend.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm gonna try one more time to win, and then I'll go do something else.
Misadventures of Tron Bond, especially complete with the Legends 2 demo, is like $250.
If I ever decided to rip off Josh and make my own Geek Critique sort of like series, I would do my first episode on Mega Man Legends.
Well, that'd be fine, because I probably won't do Mega Man Legends
I'm
anytime
trying
soon.
to kind of do that, except instead of talking about consoles and series, I'm talking about genres. I am still trying to write my FPS script.
Shenmue Chocolate.
Yeah!
I would rather rip off extra credits because I think I can do it better than they can.
I win.
No, I think I could do game theory better than he does.
That doesn't take much.
No, it doesn't.
Hey, I won Knights. That's fantastic.
Yay!
Seriously, I would love to make like my own series where all I do is examine exactly what I think is wrong with specific games and how to fix them.
So you want to bitch.
So you want to be every YouTube. So you want to be the angry Brit. What's his name?
No, because I wouldn't go about it from I wouldn't go
Cynical
about it
Brit,
from an
yeah.
angry perspective, and I certainly wouldn't try to be Total Biscuit. I would try to like do something that's like a hybrid of here's your design flaws and try to mix that with what extra credits does.
So you want to be Jim Sterling.
Yeah, except again without the angry element.
It's hard to do
And without being a narcissistic
It's hard to do
jackass.
anything new, you know.
He ends every video by saying, "Thank God for me."
Yeah.
Jim
like
Sterling
Jim-
is more passive aggressive than he is angry, which is even worse.
Like any of this stuff, like you can say like, well, so you want to be like what this guy's doing, what this guy's doing. It's hard to come up with an original idea anymore.
Yeah, and where we live in a world of JonTron ripoffs.
But I mean, there's a lot of good games out there that nobody gives any attention to what those games do wrong and how they could be improved because they're good games in the
I see
first
what you're
place.
Yeah, and that reminds me of Pro Jared's recent video on Sonic Adventure 2, where he rams.
I know
on the
that's
thing.
another case where
And he hits a lot of good points.
yeah, that's another
Sorry,
case
Josh.
where it's like
Go on.
I watched that video, but I tried not to pay too much attention to it or remember too much of it because I don't want it to influence my own video on Sonic Adventure 2.
And because
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
right.
Well, I acknowledge his opinions, but I don't agree with them because I still love that game. I still think it's a really good game, and I can sit down and enjoy it and play it and love the shit out of it.
I really
Yeah,
liked the
that's
Tails
all
and
right.
Eggman sections.
My
in
God,
game.
that sounded dirty.
Just Knuckles and Rouge I couldn't stand.
I love.
God damn it! I
Oh,
love those
God, I
Knuckles
know.
raps.
Yo, you know me, the fighting freak Knuckles, and we in Pumpkin Hill. You ready?
Even when we're playing totally different games, we can't stop talking about Summer.
You know,
It's impossible to.
That reminds me of the single best post I saw on Retro the other day, which is the best post that has ever been on Retro, where someone was talking about Sonic Runners, and he mentioned Knuckles, and he said, unlike Sonic, he completely sucks ass. I think it was Runners. It might have been Dash.
Well, playing a power character in Runners is actually really.
I love this baseball kid. Hey, mister! Like, a random stranger walks up to you on the street and you go, wanna play baseball?
I'm sorry.
There's one kid who asks you if you want to wrestle.
Working with strange men.
Oh, and now I've been
Trying
called
to
a
pick me
strange
up.
man.
Forget it. Find someone else.
Well,
Are you not?
I guess Rio really is. I am too, for that matter.
With that face, I'm just imagining he says like, "Hi, mister. Let's play baseball. You want to play?"
You need to find Yamaguchi-san and learn the double
that's right.
blow.
Did you see anything unusual?
The day the snow
'Cause that's a really good move.
right?
Yeah, after you practice it. I always hated the fact that you actually had to get good at moves for them to be effective in combat.
Vada says that Sonic Shuffle got better, and yeah, I
Vada!
So-
Wow, I'm
Sony
surprised you're here. I haven't seen you since fucking Mega G-Wolf's last Sonic Hack
was
Showcase.
around for the
Did you see a black car?
for my Sonic stream for a while as well, though.
Yeah. Did you see?
I must have been before I was in the
Yeah.
call.
What did he do?
Well, now,
You were gone for a while too, so it might have been then. I don't know.
God, this game is
Oh,
so
yeah, it's
realistic.
because
Look at how
my
this
inter-
NPC has gotten stuck between us during our conversation.
Well,
What did Vodapega
That
do?
happens in real life, dude.
Vodapega Sonic hacks. He also used to be a co-mod with me back on Mega Jeeble's Minecraft server. That was a long time ago, though.
Excuse me, but I have a lot of things to do. Sorry. Bye
Have
now.
you ever
I
been
wish I had
trying?
some. I wish
Have
I
you
had
ever been
done
trying to
something
get
similar
past
to-
someone on the street and you just keep walking forward and for some reason you can't get by because they're in the way, but you keep walking anyway?
My father is like that. He is the most stubborn man in the world, and he will try to walk through you if you don't get out of his way.
You know what? I know you're referring to a glitch in a little bug in the game, but that actually does happen in real life a lot.
did you see a
Well, like, I don't mean like getting stuck and you can't get through. I mean getting stuck and you can't get through, but you keep moving your feet like you're walking anyway. Keep running
Yeah,
that walk
yeah.
animation.
If I ever
That's
told
what
you
makes
the
it beautiful.
definition of insanity,
I see.
what are you trying to do right now,
I'm trying
Josh?
to... The black car went towards Dobita. Maybe PPL period who worked there saw it.
PPL?
I think this is going to be
shit,
like
I
the
played-
three...
I played
this is
through
going to be the
this-
3 blades, I think.
Yeah, this is the Three
Yeah.
Blades, I think.
But I don't really remember who I'm supposed to talk to advance the plot. Which is okay. I'm kind of just hoping that somebody might donate $5 and I can play a different game soon.
Go to the flower shop and talk to... What's her name?
Nozomi.
Yeah, talk to Nozomi.
Because that's real rewarding for this guy.
No, seriously, I think you have to do that at this point.
Alright, I'm...
Somebody please donate $5.
I'm half tempted to at this point.
This is a great game, but it's probably one of the worst for not
Yeah,
advancing
disc
the plot.
1 is really slow, and that's where most people get hung up.
Yeah, I think I'm halfway through
It
Disc 2
picks
in
up-
my playthrough. Seriously, Disc 2 and 3 go so much faster
Yeah,
than Disc
it picks
1.
up a lot past that point, and I don't remember Shenmue 2 having that slow start problem at all either.
That's
gonna say-
because Shenmue 2 just kind of continues instead of
Disc
begins.
1 confirmed for Reggie Gigas.
There's Nozomi.
Nozomi.
Rio, have things settled down here
Hot.
already?
Well, I love her turtleneck.
If
That's the
there's
sexiest
anything I
thing.
can do, be sure to let me know.
Yeah.
Bizarre, unpopular opinion, I actually do think turtlenecks are sexy.
Black car?
Yeah, it wasn't the kind of car usually seen.
I'm more of a naturalist when it comes to women. I don't like fancy
I only like 'em
clothes or
naked.
piercings or tattoos or anything.
Pass.
Or clothes at all.
That's what,
No, I mean I don't like
Is
I like
the car?
I mean I like someone who
Naturalist.
I like someone who dresses comfortably. I don't like people to dress up for the sake of trying to look pretty.
Tom had an argument with the people.
I don't know.
Do you mean Tom at the hot dog truck?
I'm gonna stop right there.
Yeah, I don't feel... I don't know if I should discuss my attractiveness preferences.
Rio.
Hmm?
Yeah, will you?
Especially not in front of all 13 of
That's
these
true.
people.
All 13 of our
Well,
subscribers.
maybe one of them has...
Four of which are
One of them
probably
might have a
us.
crush on me and try to, like, dress up and impress me or something. I don't want...
Oh, Joshy-san, how did you
I
know?
promise I won't do
Josh,
that.
Josh, you said that like you were secretly hoping for it.
What? No, I don't want somebody to have a crush on me. That'd be weird. Pfft.
You calling me
Brought
out?
up Pega.
I mean,
He's
I
talking
am
about
single
you.
now.
I mean,
Is it because
I
I'm
mean,
rich?
I kind of want to take this slow, you know.
I'm fine with taking things slow. That's... Whenever you're ready, I'm ready. Gotta go talk to Tom again.
Let's talk about something else.
Are we having an air horn fight?
Okay, please. Please cease this.
This is the worst written sentence. This confirms that Rio is a dumbass, what he's writing in his journal.
Nozomi
What was it? I didn't actually process reading it.
No, I don't remember.
Something about Tom and hot dogs and black
Yeah.
car men. I didn't read it very closely, but I didn't read it very closely because I tried to and it was unintelligible, which confirms what I said earlier about him being a dumbass.
Guy wearing this weird
If he can't even leave good notes for himself, just cryptic messages.
He wants to hint to himself.
maybe velvet or silk.
But yeah, I was right. You had to talk to
Yeah,
Nozomi.
yeah.
That's Len D.
Good thinking. You've played this game more recently than I.
What happened?
They are
Yay, I'm
my
useful.
customers, so
I'm
I
good for
gave
more
them
things than
Yay.
just money.
mind.
Those
But that
mouth
man,
animations
he
though.
gave me this glare.
They're better than the mouth animations
It was
themselves.
good for
Not me.
1999.
Stare, man.
Don't you mean 1986?
Anything else?
Well, that too.
Try
Yeah,
asking
in
Chinese
1986,
people about
everybody was
Chinese.
low poly.
Do you know any
Yes, everyone was low.
Graphics are
I
so much
wasn't
better
born
now.
yet, but I assume that this is
I mean-
exactly how the world looked in
They
1986.
get some Chinese customers.
I
Oh,
was
God,
born in
that
89,
reminds
and
me
it's
of
pretty
the-
close.
That reminds me of the Oculus Rift South Park episode.
Sure.
You mean the one that completely didn't work how an Oculus Rift works?
Yes, but at the end they took it off and it's just real
Okay, Cobra, I
kids.
see what you're saying now. Tom, hot dog truck, had words with Black Carmen.
Yeah, I mean, he's writing himself these cryptic ass clues that don't make
Then
any
Tom's
sense.
like, hey, why don't you go talk to Chinese people?
Seek information from Chinese people.
Chinese people in Asia, you don't see many of those.
In the old times, everyone dressed in sepia, yes.
Excuse me. Yeah.
And in older times, people didn't have three dimensions.
Sepia.
Sepia, huh?
Sepia.
It's not sepia? Again, I've
thought
screwed
it
up an
was-
NPC in the background.
You mean the Ajiji?
Supia, because I'm hungry.
I'm sure their employees are.
I
You
like
should
Soup.
play Rick and Morty Rushed License Adventure.
Is that on the Dreamcast?
I wish.
Yeah.
It's
yeah,
a
I
Flash
still have-
game.
It is available on the Sega Genesis, Mega Drive, Master System, Sega Saturn,
It's a
Sega
Flash
32X,
game,
Sega
so if
CD,
you so
mobile phone, Atari Jaguar, Panasonic
Hey,
3DO.
Dreamcast has internet, so you can play Flash games and call it fair.
yeah, if you could fucking have dial-up or the
Oh,
legendary
I wish I had a
broadband
broadband
adapter.
adapter.
The legendary.
Well, it is. Do you know how expensive that
I saw-
goddamn thing is?
Yeah, because it's like Sega threw it out at the last minute, like, oh, okay, I guess we gotta release this thing. Here you
I
go.
mean, that is beyond what I'm willing to spend on a whim.
How much does it cost normally?
It retailed for, I think, about $100. But you can't get it for $100
I think I
now.
should ask about people from China around.
No, now it's like
Yeah.
500.
Why are you
Wow,
asking?
shit.
You want to learn Thai?
Please stop doing that.
Do you
Stop
know
it.
anyone?
Stop
Okay, I'll stop.
Oh,
It-
It's just I'm having too much fun with that.
You.
You know something is wrong if a damn broadband adapter costs more than most decent graphics cards.
Also, the component
oh
cables
my
for the
god, those things are
GameCube.
horrible.
I have Wii
Yeah, that's
component cables.
and that's fine.
if I
Just use
stick
those.
around, I can probably get more information.
yeah.
Yep. Well, the component cables for the GameCube, the official ones, are really good because they actually they draw directly from the video card
Yeah.
or something like that.
I've heard. But yeah, they're extremely hard to come by because nobody bought them back in the day, so they didn't make very many. And older, later model GameCubes actually removed support for it entirely.
Yeah.
Really?
That's
Actually, you
interesting. I knew about the removed support. I did not know that the cables themselves
Oh,
were
yeah.
expensive.
Yeah,
I
that-
Because you
used some
couldn't-
money. That's
you
good
had
to
to-
know.
yeah, you had to
order
mail
them
order
directly
them.
from Nintendo.
Very useful
Why, do
to
you-
know. If I find myself strapped for
Why, do you have
cash,
some?
I
Ah,
You-
nice.
I might.
go. Oh shit! All right. I wish I hadn't told you that. Then maybe I could have talked to you and like, oh, can I buy those for like
Hey,
I don't know,
Kovar,
$30?
I need
Well,
to borrow
they were like-
your component cables for the GameCube for official Geek Critique business. Would that be okay?
They were like, what, $35
Yeah, they
new
weren't- they
back
weren't
in the
very
day?
expensive new. At least not compared to what they are now.
I have a bunch of weird ass GameCube accessories. I have like 6 of those GameCube Game Boy Advance link cables.
I only have
Only
one.
4 ports, but 6 cables.
I have
I've
three.
got one of
I have
those.
3
Actually,
Dreamcast
really am
keyboards
glad
for
I
some
have it.
reason, and I can't find one of them.
I have one, and I actually did put it to good use when I played Typing of the Dead.
Well, 3 Dreamcast keyboards could come in handy if you need to type 3 words
yeah,
at once.
that could work. No,
We're down to
that's
12
fine.
viewers.
It's getting late. I'm gonna feed the cat here.
Yes, you must feed. What'd you name
I
it?
can't remember.
Did you pick a name yet?
I
Feed the cat or he will murder
I
you.
played this in 2009, and then I picked it up again just a few days ago, and I had saved. I'd quick saved right outside the U Arcade, like I did again when I started playing now.
You know, I said this earlier, but I'll say it again. This game is like so much like Animal Crossing. It's way ahead of its time
It's
in
way
that
ahead of
regard.
its time in most regards.
You don't have to gulp it down.
I mean, if you gotta have a point. I mean, if Shenmue allows you to interact with literally everything, I'm not sure if Shenmue 3 can pull it off.
Yeah.
No, they can try. I mean, with all that money they're breaking in.
Well, I mean, this had a budget of what, like 40 million?
Yeah, but part of the reason the budget
47
the reason
million,
the budget
actually.
was so high
This
was
had-
because development took so long. It was in development between like from 1993 onward, pretty much, and as a result, since it switched between the Saturn and the Dreamcast, that's where a lot of that budget went. Was into things that didn't even make it into the game.
Not only that, but they had to build this engine from scratch, whereas if with Shenmue 3, they're going to use a middleware engine. I don't know if they said which one, but I can't imagine them using anything but Unreal 4. And if they do that, that's going to save them a lot of money too. It's just asset creation is like 95% of it.
Shenmue 3, you can interact with every
Oh, yes.
centimeter.
Well, hang on.
Press F to press F in Shenmue.
Do you want to open this drawer from the left side of the handle or the right side? You got to be careful because it might jam if you
Now,
open
the
it
one
wrong.
thing you can't do though, you can. There is a bathroom here. You cannot use it. Conker's got one up on Rio in that regard.
He just doesn't have to pee.
Ever.
I wonder if that was originally going to be a feature, but they cut it out.
I kind of want to be surprised.
Well, at least it's not like Torrente 3.
What happens in that?
You literally have to take dumps regularly, or you will shit your pants.
There's a game called Don't Shit Your Pants. That's pretty fun.
That was made by the same people who made Rogue Legacy.
That would be a good board game.
Oh, I've got.
Don't shit your pants. The board
Don't
game.
shit in your fucking pants.
I would buy that. I would kickstart that.
It's kind of like Don't Wake Daddy, you know. You got to make it through the entire night without shitting yourself.
Yes, while you're on a Taco Bell run.
It's very ironic that Rio should choose to look at this scroll while we're having this discussion. Keep your mind as clean as a polished mirror.
This is the type of combos that we should be having at 3:20
I agree.
a.m.
Okay, no.
It's
No,
only
like Don't
1:20
Shit Your
AM
Pants,
here.
the board game, and it's like Monopoly, but instead of railroads, you have Taco Bell, Taco John's,
Somebody
Chipotle.
says, "Don't shit your pants." Legacy.
Don't shit your
The great
pants.
thing about Don't Shit Your
Generations.
Pants Legacy is that it brings back the voice actors from all the Star Trek captains. Really? I don't know why, but it does.
Oh my god. I felt like I was going to have a heart attack for a second.
Please don't die on the Geek Critique stream. That would not be a good legacy for me to have.
And don't
Well, that was
shit
just
your
weird. I
pants.
just felt a really hard pain in my chest. I don't know.
Maybe you were about to shit your pants.
Turd.
Oh dear.
God.
Digimon World on the PSX would punish you if your Digimon crapped
Yeah,
too
that sounds
much.
about right.
That was a
that
thing?
happened- That happened to me on a Tamagotchi once.
Was that a thing? Really?
Oh,
But
God.
Tamagotchi,
One of the-
yes.
No, I mean, your Digimon crapping themselves.
Digimon World did take some cues from Tamagotchi for some reason. It took several cues from Tamagotchi. I don't know why.
I
It
don't.
didn't add to the game.
I played Monster Rancher.
Those are not comparable. They're totally different things.
I didn't
Yeah,
even know that
the shows
Digimon
were
was a
similar.
thing.
The shows were similar, but the games were totally different.
I know, but I'm just saying. Taking the premise of I'm a kid, I watch TV, that influences what I play.
Oh, Monster Rancher, that was the best.
It was. I loved Monster Rancher.
I came home too early, and I can't
Did you did you ever play Monster Rancher Explorer for the Game Boy Color?
I did, actually.
It seems like almost nobody played that one, and that was one of my favorite puzzle games of all time.
Wasn't there a Game Boy Advance one, too?
There were several Monster Rancher Advance games, I think 2 or 3 of them. and they were basically the same as the PlayStation games, except you couldn't make monsters by inserting discs for some reason.
Yeah, that was a really neat feature.
Oh, do I not have the... Yeah, I do. There it is.
It kind of reminded me of the whole Blue Spheres thing, where every time you insert a Genesis game, you get a different level.
Yeah, it was a lot like that.
Except you insert a different PlayStation disc, and you get a new monster.
Not just PlayStation disc, you could use music CDs too.
All right, we haven't gotten any more. We haven't gotten.
I doubt the 11 people in this room are going to donate.
Well, I mean that's about what we had. Like 11 people is the max we had in the 2014 Sonic stream.
How about just play one more game without the donation and just
Yeah, I might play one more short game just because like I won't spend as much time on it as I have this one, but I do kind of want to play something else.
Thank God. I can only take so much toy opening for so long.
It's one of the best games of all time.
Do you have Tomb Raider Last Revelation?
I used to have a demo disc of it, but no, I don't.
Do you have South Park
no.
Rally?
South Park Rally is not very good. Do you have Toy Commander?
No.
I love Toy Commander.
Play Crazy Taxi and just don't upload that part to YouTube.
Or Spirit of Speed 1937.
Hang on a minute. Let me go back over there. I'll tell you what I have. And I kind of like the demo disc idea. I think if that would be okay with you guys, I think that would be fun. Because that'd be a variety of a couple things.
I put a new straw poll up though.
I found a Reddit thread with the worst Dreamcast games, and I was just recommending shit off of there.
Screw it, Josh. I am prolonging this stream.
Oh, good. A demo disc showcase, yeah.
Oh man, that PlayStation 1, the cooking game, that's top 5 PlayStation games for me. Easy.
Yeah,
Does it beat FF8? Absolutely.
Yeah,
it beats Toma 2, no question.
A lot of things beat FF8, namely FF9.
Okay, yeah. That's
and
true.
FF7.
That's very true. That's why I didn't say FF9.
I don't know about FF7. I think they're kind of both on the same playing field.
No, because FF8's story falls apart after the first disc and becomes a complete disaster.
Not if you follow the Squall is Dead theory.
If you follow the Squall is Dead theory, then discs 2 through 4 don't even need to exist, and it still falls apart.
I can't follow anything at all about Final Fantasy in general, aside from 7. I get some of that.
You should. You can't even follow 6.
Play 4, man. It's like the simplest one.
I'm surprised that you can follow 7 and not 6.
Well, 7's the only one I ever beat. It's the only one I ever really got into at all.
Oh. Okay, so now we see where the real problem is.
Okay. Notification of donation received from Tyler, $5. Thank you, Tyler.
I told you, I'm prolonging the stream.
Fair enough.
5-0?
Oh, not that again.
What?
What would another $50 get you?
He would be streaming for the next 24
I'd have
hours.
to show off all my Dreamcast games, I guess.
You only have 10?
I have more than that, but I would eventually run out. That's the problem.
I wouldn't, because I've pirated most of them.
Okay, Tyler, what do you want me to play? Do you want me to tell you what I've got, or do you want it to be a demo disc, or what? Okay.
Tell me what you got.
Tell me what you got, Johnny.
I'm gonna have to scoot over here. Can you hear me from here?
Yeah, I can hear you just fine.
Of course, Sonic Adventure 1, 2, Shuffle, but I'm not playing Shuffle again. Phantasy Star Online, NFL 2K1. I've got Seaman, that could be funny, except I don't know where the microphone is. Quake 3 Arena, Echo the Dolphin, Sega Smash Pack Volume 1. Web Browser 2.0. No, I have Web Browser 1, 2, and 3. So
Echo the Dolphin, Echo the Dolphin.
Nah.
Sega Smash
Future
Pack.
Rocket, Crazy Taxi, Daytona USA 2001, Super Magnetic Neo, Mortal.
Oh god, you have to play Super Magnetic Neo.
Let me finish. I got Mortal Kombat Gold, Choo Choo Rocket, Ready to Rumble Boxing, Marvel vs. Capcom, and Soul Calibur.
Okay, I am tied between Soul Calibur and Super Magnetic Neo because I love Soul Calibur and Super Magnetic Neo is the most ridiculous thing I've ever played in my life.
I've got like 3 demo discs, I think.
Is it more ridiculous than LSD Dream Emulator?
Yes.
Damn, dude.
I was gonna vote for Echo.
Toss a coin. Heads.
Smash Pack.
I know,
Smash
but
Pack.
Tyler's the one who donated, so it's ultimately his choice.
I know.
I know.
I'm telling
I was
him to
influencing
choose.
his choice.
Sega
I was
Smash Pack would be
influencing
kind of
his
funny
choice.
because the emulation is so bad.
Okay, I'm gonna go to a coin toss website. What's your choice?
Heads is Soul Calibur.
Let
Tails
me
is
make sure I have
Magnetic
Soul
Neo.
Calibur real quick, though. I have the case on here. I don't know if the disc is in there.
I don't have
Like-
the case, but I have the
That's
disc.
like 70% of my Wii collection.
Okay, flipping a coin. Tails.
It's Magnetic Neo.
Yes.
Oh god, I got stuck in that game. Actually, there's like this wall of fire that I don't know how to get past. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I got stuck in it too. Okay, let me give you a little bit of a further choice. Because I think... Oh no, I'm wrong, never mind. I thought I had Super Magnetic Neo on a demo disc. I did it one time, so I was going to offer to play that. This is actually my newest Dreamcast game.
Like newest isn't most recently acquired, or newest is
No,
most
yeah,
recently made.
Most recently acquired. I got it. I got this on May 21st, 2010. And I know that because the receipt's in the box. Yeah, whatever.
I like that beep. It reminds me of my childhood where I didn't have a Dreamcast.
I have Gotenks
Wow.
on this memory card for some reason. No clue why.
That is weird.
Yeah.
Vodapega just says, beep!
Every time I hear a beep, it makes me hungry. Reminds me of the sound of a microwave.
That makes sense, actually.
Why is there other music playing?
Sorry.
You can stop.
Please, we don't want to get muted.
No, it's not just that. It's annoying the shit out of me.
It doesn't sound good playing over a microphone. Sorry.
Okay.
Your face doesn't sound good over a microphone.
This game looked great back in 2000, especially because it ran at 60 frames per second. Most 3D games at the time did not do that.
Unfortunately, it doesn't run at 60 frames per second anymore.
Unfortunately, it runs.
So far, this does not look more ridiculous than LSD Dream Emulator.
Just wait.
That guy
Just wait till you get to the
so
hub
done.
world.
That
I
guy
love-
just looks so done.
I both love and hate the hub world.
I'm trying to remember the controls. Like, okay, so he's Super Magnetic Neo, and he jumps like Mario. But
You have 4 abilities: jump, positive, negative, and dash.
Oh, it looks like Crash Bandicoot.
yeah, like you can hit the A button to use a negative magnet, and the the B button to use a positive magnet. So like you use a negative magnet, yeah, you're gonna bounce away from. Yeah.
Red, and you
draws you into
blue pull. Yeah, and you got to use magnetism to do shit. And then there's a dash button, which I didn't know the first time I played the game, so I couldn't get over a
I
certain
remember getting stuck
obstacle.
there too.
So is the polarity color coded to the
Yes.
Dreamcast
Yes.
controller then?
Yes, it is.
So it would be a right pain to play with an Xbox
Well, not
controller.
a pain. You can
Yes.
do it easily.
Blue, wouldn't blue still be
No,
the same?
color,
But
the Xbox 360 controller has the same like button labels. Like B is still B and is in the same place, but the colors are different.
yeah, but B. But what color is B on the normal controller? Oh yeah, it's red. I forget.
Yeah, B on the Dreamcast is blue.
Yeah.
I've always wanted to ask my Japanese professor what is with Japan and making weird shit like this.
That sounds like a racist question.
Would it be, though?
Have you ever considered that maybe they think this is normal, and every day you got Japanese kids asking what is with America and making weird shit like Breaking
why do
Bad?
they love guns so much? Why does everything have to have a gun in it?
I don't think it would be all that racist. I mean, in the way I worded it, yeah, it would be. But I mean, if I asked her like, why does Japan? Why are they fascinated with?
Tentacles.
I don't know if you guys heard the controller rumble there. When you die, your controller goes freaking
I
crazy.
I heard it.
It does.
I'm
Well, yeah,
still
this game does
waiting
kind of
for
have a
Ben
Crash
to say this
Bandicoot
in a
vibe
way
to it.
that isn't racist. I'm not convinced he can.
Look, Japan culture seems to have a fascination with cutesy, what's the word?
Moe super
like
kawaii.
No, I don't know. I can't think of the word right now, but it's like the chibi type stuff.
Super deformed.
Yeah.
Absurd.
Well, by our definition, yes.
I mean, like, look at these flower pot things. What the hell are they?
Basically,
That is actually
from
a
what
real
I
thing.
understand, like in Japanese culture, it's not considered to be immature to be cute. Basically, like it's something they like,
That makes sense.
and I understand that because
Well,
I
I mean-
like it. Like cute is good. Cute's great.
Yeah.
Everything
My
must be
Little Pony.
tiny.
You don't think I'm racist, do you?
I think you're completely
No,
racist.
no.
I can't believe you would come on here and say that.
Oh. Yeah. Okay. All right.
But yeah,
I'll just, see you guys
if we
later.
can point to this stuff, they can point to Call of Duty and My Little Pony, and every
They point to
culture's
My
got.
Little Pony and like it.
Okay,
This actually
maybe.
looks better than Crash Bandicoot, although I'm not sure.
My point is, every culture's got their stuff that only makes sense to them and not to anyone else.
Yeah.
I guess.
Like Russia and bears on unicycles.
Is that a thing?
I don't know.
Like Germany and David Hasselhoff.
It's kind of like how in Japan, Mega Man is called Rockman. But, I mean, I've heard that Japanese players prefer the Japanese name because they think it just makes more sense. But, I mean,
Yeah,
to me,
Rock
Mega
Man
Man makes
makes
a lot
more
more
sense.
sense.
Well, yeah, it's partly because in Japan they've done a lot to foster the whole rock and roll, and everything in the series
Yeah.
is music themed.
Well,
But
I
it's
think...
because Mega Man in America, we see it as sort of a reference of sorts to Superman.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like, Rock is like his secret identity, and Mega Man is like his superhero name.
Except
Yeah,
he's a robot.
Rock
Who
is
gives-
not his secret identity. Rock is just his, Rock is his name.
Right,
worldwide.
but I mean, but it just seems like that. I mean, it feels weird to say he started out as Rock, but then he became a super fighting robot and he became Rockman.
I kind of see what you're saying. Yeah.
No.
That's literally the plot of Mega Man Powered Up. He was Mega, and then he became Mega Man. Dr. Light
Yeah,
even
I
says
don't know
it
why
that
they
way.
changed it like that.
And I wonder how much of the awkwardness of it is just from lack of familiarity, because, you know, you look at people our age in Japan, they grew up with Rockman just like we grew up
Yeah,
with
there's
Mega
plenty
Man.
of stuff that like you're just so used to it that you don't think about it.
Battle Pegasus, isn't it true that they really like American stuff in there? And yeah, they go crazy over Disney.
There's a lot
It
of American
depends
stuff
on
that's-
who and which
Yeah.
American stuff. For example, Hideo Kojima loves everything American.
Obviously.
Without
Especially
question.
Mad Max. Have you seen his Twitter account? It's nothing but
Really?
Mad Max stuff for the past month.
That sounds like him.
Yeah, but there's a lot of American stuff that they love over there. I mean, like, baseball's really fucking big over there.
Baseball seems to be bigger over there than it is here.
It's
It
weird.
is.
Baseball sports games there are bigger than they are over here.
Okay, that reminds me of a Robot Chicken skit they did, where they were making fun of Japanese game shows, and they came up with one called Who
Every
Poop
Super
Last.
Sentai series has to have an episode where the team, where like usually the Green Ranger helps out a kid who wants to play baseball.
Yes, that needs to happen. Except in Teen Titans, it was a kid with a prosthetic arm who wanted to play football.
Man,
I
even
forgot
Fully
about that
Coolly,
episode.
one of the most Japanese animes ever that just screams Japan all over it, has baseball as a major factor in it.
Which one of those animes was actually American made? I know there was one that was really famous that was...
That's
Really big in
Avatar:
Japan.
The Last Airbender.
No. It was like one that was like big in
I was gonna say
Japan.
Totally
It's actually
Spies,
American.
but that's France.
Ruby is surprisingly successful in Japan.
Maybe that's what I'm thinking of.
That's a Rooster Teeth one, the same guys who did Red vs. Blue.
I keep wanting to say Cowboy Bebop, but then at the same time I want to shoot myself in the face.
And by the way, this is indeed a great freaking game, and I really I've always liked it. Oh no,
it is.
it's hard though.
It's one of those niche platformer titles that I enjoy, but I never
It
had a
looks-
chance to finish.
it
Kinda
looks
like the
I know
really
it looks
simple.
really simple, but it's
It-
so
it's-
freaking it's unforgivingly difficult.
Well, I was gonna say it looks really similar to Crash Bandicoot, and if it plays anything like that, then I'd be all over it.
It doesn't really play like Crash Bandicoot. The mechanics are drastically different, but the kind of progression is the same. It's linear
It's
forward.
like-
Well, I mean, these
Ikaruga
narrow
Ban-
hallways of
Bandicoot.
levels.
I do see what you mean about it looking like Crash Bandicoot, if nothing else, though. Just because it's
Yeah. God, this is making me want to play KO
I
the
never
Kangaroo.
played that.
When I'm watching this, I'm just saying Ikaruga. That's all I'm seeing here.
What was that, Josh?
I don't know. I noticed Vada Pega said PS Vita is big in Japan.
Why? Do
Why?
they have
Because-
games there?
They have games there.
Because they love RPGs, and all the PS Vita has
I
is
wonder
JRPGs.
I wonder why I didn't like.
Yeah,
the
like
system.
3 of them.
I love how at E3 2015 they announced one game for the Vita, and it was a port for the PS4 game.
Well, yeah, that's the thing about the Vita. Is like the vast majority of its library is games that are already on other systems. Like, if you really like Tearaway, I guess, then it's the system for you. But other than that, I
Well, yeah,
do
it's
not
because,
see the
and it's
appeal.
because the Vita.
I use it to play Metal Gear Solid
Yeah, the
games.
Vita is like super
I-
powerful and all, but to make a game that's worthy of that hardware takes so much development time and so much money that it's better spent on multi-platform console releases.
It's better spent on lottery
PS4,
tickets.
or
That and I don't.
I'll be honest, I want a Vita, but I only want it for remote play. I don't want
Yeah.
it for any Vita games.
The remote play function isn't all that great, honestly.
Vita, I think Sony just doesn't care about the handheld market because Nintendo's just going to dominate it every time.
They're basically
Yeah.
giving up at this point. Unless they've got something big underneath their sleeves for next E3, because they've pretty much stopped making Vita games in everywhere except Japan.
Tearaway 2.
indeed.
That'll
I
change
said
everything.
pretty much, not entirely.
I don't know, maybe we'll get a sequel to Knack.
As the official
Okay,
sponsor
I
of
just
this
figured out
stream,
what
I advise
I just
to
figured out
stop.
what you were singing, and no, I want you to keep going.
Oh, okay, it's done.
Ben, stick to voice acting.
Hey, I can sing.
Leave the singing to me.
I can sing though. I wasn't trying to, but I can't sing.
Oh yeah, I forgot this is one of those one-hit bullshit
That's
games.
part of the reason it's so difficult. Oh no!
Is there live in this game?
That controller vibration.
Sounds like a cat.
Yeah, Vada Pega says, thing is, handheld gaming is very popular there.
It
And
is.
I get that, but at the same
Then
time...
again, flip phones are popular there.
I get that, but the 3DS is also handheld gaming, and it actually has a pretty big selection
And
of
it's
games.
popular everywhere, not
It
just
does.
Japan.
Yeah, Nintendo knows how to corner the market by eliminating the corners.
That's a pretty good way of putting it.
Surprisingly enough, because that doesn't really make sense.
It's something I've thought about a lot lately since I started on the 3DS script just last night.
They probably would still have a monopoly on the gaming market if they hadn't created PlayStation.
Yeah, if you think about it, their biggest downfall is their own mistake.
Man, this game looks
Oh, God.
really hard.
It is.
I don't know. It's hard to predict what would have happened if not for PlayStation. Like, would somebody else have come in instead?
Well, we got Microsoft.
Oh my God.
What else? Actually, no. We know exactly what would have happened. The console war between Sega and Nintendo would still be
Wouldn't
going
that
on.
be fantastic?
No, it wouldn't, because Sega was falling apart.
No,
Yeah,
Philips
but there would have
the
been no
big player.
PS2 to kill the Dreamcast.
That's
Think about
true.
it.
That's true.
Yep.
I didn't think of that.
I think the big player would have been Philips. We would have gotten the Philips CDI.
That would have been
X.
great. We could have had more wonderful Zelda games.
And more Hotel Mario.
Hotel
Did you
Mario
bring a
actually
light?
wasn't that bad of a game.
No.
It wasn't a Mario game, but it was pretty decent for what it was.
It's a stone, Luigi.
No, that was the TV show.
I associate them as the same
The
thing.
TV show, as bad as it could be, it wasn't as bad as Hotel Mario at all.
I still consider them the same thing, basically, because it's got a similar art style, and they're both YouTube poop material.
Dear pesky plumbers.
It's a football! I chiseled it!
I am rapidly losing my ability to.
You are really trying to make that jump.
I am rapidly losing my ability to play Super Magnetic Neo.
It
May have
doesn't look
something
like
to
an
do
easy
with-
Oh
game.
my
really.
god! Okay,
but
the
you got a
ice,
checkpoint.
the ice sculpture kills you if you run into it. God. Yeah,
You're running out of
this
lives.
is what I meant about it being unforgiving.
Running out of live, both literally and figuratively.
Here we go.
I like how he
That's
has
life.
Mickey pants.
What's that?
He has Mickey
Yeah, he
pants.
does, doesn't he?
Oh yeah, he does have Mickey pants.
What are Mickey pants?
It's
Sounds
like
hot.
Yeah,
Pants
he
worn
has
by
the,
Mickey.
like the one-color pants with
the
buttons.
solid color pants with
Yeah.
the 2 buttons on the front.
That should be an Urban Dictionary
Mickey
term.
pants.
Mickey pants.
Yeah.
It's kind of a common trope in classic cartoon character designs.
I
Yeah.
feel like Mickey Pants is like a pet name you call someone.
You know, I can actually see
a
that.
bad one.
That's a really bad one, but I can see it. Mickey
It's
pants.
like, hey Mickey Pants, how you doing?
Like, you wouldn't say
Ugh.
this. You wouldn't say it in like a sensual way. You'd say it in like an adorable way.
Hey, Mickey
So
pants.
bad.
It's like
Hey, Mickey Pants.
Oh God!
if your dog.
Pa-
It's like if your dog's name is Mickey or
Patamon
something.
just killed me.
Which one the fuck?
Patamon just
What?
killed me. Was
Patamon.
it Palmon? I can't remember. No. I can't remember. I can't remember my Digimon. The one with a flower on its head.
I believe you mean Hercules
probably it, yeah.
Cavaterimon.
This stream is going places.
We're all getting tired and we're all getting stupid.
We're going straight to the top.
We're getting stupid? I thought we were already there.
I'm not tired in the slightest, but I need to get to work on actual content soon. As opposed to whatever this
Excuse
is.
me.
Yeah, Donkey Kong 64 was what? A month ago?
Well, yeah, but Smash Brothers was after that.
Yeah, didn't
Oh,
you
that's
say
true. I forgot
doing a
about
video a week?
No, that was in May. I was only doing that in May.
Is it still May?
No, it's unfortunately it's July.
They're almost the same. One more letter. Different
It's
letters.
American.
Oh man, come on. That was an oh man, come on at the game, not not the insinuation.
I forget.
At least
is
you
this
have,
a
at least you
D-pad
have
or an
infinite
analog
lives.
stick?
That's what really matters here.
Josh, is this a D-pad or an
Analog
analog stick game? Because some games force you to use the D-pad, and I don't fucking understand it.
The stick!
It's because they think they're making PlayStation games.
Shenmue makes you use the D-pad.
Yeah, so you can look around with the analog stick.
Does Nintendo or Sony have some kind of copyright on the standard D-pad?
Nintendo does, yes.
Because
I think Nintendo's patent on the traditional cross D-pad actually expired like 3 years ago. It was pretty recent. That's why the Xbox One has a more traditional D-pad, and before that, nothing.
Then how come the PlayStation has always had a good D-pad?
Well, because it was originally a Nintendo system. They still had the copyright to the controller design.
Well, the PlayStation's D-pad is completely different. Nintendo's D-pad patents are for like a very specific thing. The PlayStation ones, even though they're good,